Hare Krishna. I'll start with a short prayer and then continue with the session from where we left off. Om Adnyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're continuing the Mahatmya discussion from Padma Purana. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Would someone like to summarize what we discussed last time?
I can try, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Yeah, forgive me because I think there was a lot covered last week and quite a comprehensive session. So I'm sure I would miss quite a lot. But the understanding that I had from last week's session was, I think you covered what is Bhagavatam, so the Swarup side, where you said that the book, the Granth itself is as same as Krishna, the personality, supreme personality of Godhead. And then you talked about the measure, how long is the Bhagavatam, and even though it's an infinite resources of letters, but you also mentioned that because in Kali Yuga, due to people having less capability or understanding or intellect, it's condensed into like 18,000 verses, and then you came up with a figure of how you got the 18,000 verses. And without going into too much detail about that, because I need to reread that again, but I got them gist that about 15,000 verses were from the actual Bhagavatam, and then the Uvachas, you added them, and then the 3 syllables of Om. Then you talked about the qualities, the listeners of the listeners and the speaker. So the listeners, there were 2 divisions, one which is a high class division, but again within the high class there was a subdivision of 4 categories, and in the low division same. So within the high class you have people who are just very eager to know to listen to every word, to whatever is said to them. They're just eager to take that in. And you compare that with Chataka, the bird who's got the beak open during rainy season to catch the drop of the rain. So then you also say that Hamsa, the swan who separates as the Hans would separate the milk from water, same with the listener who would absorb the essence and maybe let go of something. And then somebody who, the third category is somebody who will be asking relevant questions. And then there is one which is like a fish who will understand, but who may not understand everything, but will still attend the session and remain there. With the low class is someone who maybe speak out of turn, who's fidgety, who may feel that they want to pass something on to other people, whatever they've heard. Maybe they don't get the message, and then they are just inattentive and just killing time and just sitting there to kill time. And also one should be like facing the listener, facing the speaker, just should be always be respectful. They should be humble, and they should have the desire to learn. and so on. And the qualities of the teachers are probably like you, who knows the subject inside out, who's into Krishna consciousness, who doesn't expect much from us, but he and you can even speak harshly to us and kindly at the same time. And because of your depth of knowledge, you will explain to us in detail. Then you talked about how long the Bhagavatam is spoken for, I think, and it was about if it's in a mode of passion, maybe 7. You can correct me, Prabhuji, later on once I've said everything, but say in a mode of passion, then it's spoken for 7 days. In a mode of goodness, then it takes a longer, so maybe a month, and in ignorance, it will prolong for a whole year. And then you talked about the fruits of learning Bhagavatam is, eventually we may have Krishna Prapti if we follow the path, attain the bliss, and then it just purifies one's mind and soul. And then I think we should consider ourselves fortunate that after many, many years of births, we have got this punya to listen and hear Bhagavatam. I think there was also an encounter with Narad Muni with Bhakti, and Bhakti was saying that she's still young and her 2 sons, Gnan and Vairagya, were old. And I think Narad Muni was saying that that's because the essence is lost in many places like tapas and tirtha, dhyan, and pandit. So something like that, Prabhuji, I'm sorry, but I'm sure there was so much more. But yeah, please correct me. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
No, I think I'm very impressed with the first part. You summarized pretty much everything very nicely. The second part, which is when we started the Padma Puran, would somebody like to summarize that, please? Thank you. It was really nice the way you summarized. Anyone else would like to summarize the Padma Puran chapter? Hey, no one?
I can try a little bit, but
Yeah,
I'm
please go
sure
ahead.
I'll be wrong in many places.
It's okay. Please go ahead.
So it starts with how can we increase the discrimination born of these bhakti, jnana, virag, maya, moha, and
Do you have have you logged in from 2 devices? Because there's an echo.
I have logged in from 2 devices.
Yeah, maybe you can mute one of the 2 devices.
Is it okay now, Prabhu?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, because my audio is not working in one of the devices. That's why I have logged in from 2 devices.
No
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
So how can Vaishnavas escape the Maya, Moha, illusion and delusion now that Kali Yuga has started? That was the question that, Saunaka Muni had for Sutta Goswami. And then, so Bhakti Devi is the mother of Jnana and Vairagya. And that's what you explained. And then we cannot have one without the other. So one comes with the other. If we have Bhakti, we will have Jnana and Vairagya.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was explained that it is bigger than Chintamani. Chintamani is you can get whatever you want, and Indra can give Swargalok, but Guru can give Vaikuntha. That was explained. And then there was this picture of this serpent, and then time was compared to the serpent, where its food is the fear, and so we have to fear of becoming food in the mouth of serpent named time. And to destroy that fear, Sukadeva Goswami, who is the parrot, spoke the Srimad Bhagavatam to all the living entities, and to which even the demigods do not have access to this knowledge. So there was a time when the Devas came and wanted to change this, like trade off their nectar for Srimad Bhagavatam, and it was refused because it is comparing glass to a gem. So where the glass is the nectar that Devas have, where Srimad Bhagavatam is the actual gem. And then you showed that yes, this where Srimad Bhagavatam was heavier than all the sadhanas, because Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. And then you were explaining the time when once in Vishala Badrika Ashram, the 4 rishis, the 4 Kumaras came for satsang and met Narada Muni. And when Narada was looking very confused, so the Kumaras asked him, how come he's looking so sad and his face is drooped and what is going on? And then Narada was saying that he has been traveling to the earth, and he's seeing no one is happy, and he's only seeing degradation. And there were a lot of shlokas, and I listed down in my notes, what are the things that is happening which is making him sad. There were quite a few shlokas from where you gathered this: gambling, intoxication, infidelity, illicit sex, meat eating. They are slow, they are not intelligent, they are less fortunate, they are unsettled, fidgety, they are show-offs, they are interested in wealth and property, where the young wife becomes the boss and brother-in-law becomes the counselor. They sell their daughters out of greed. I'm reading off, okay, so I don't remember this.
Yeah, please.
I took my notes.
Please go ahead.
And the husbands and wife are always in quarrel, and it reminded me of my husband. Obviously, I'm perfect. Ashramas are full of unqualified people. Deities in the temple are destroyed by unscrupulous people, and I missed few. And there's the sadhanas are burned to ashes, and there's prostitution, and this is everywhere in Kali Yuga. This is what you explained. And then Narada said that when he reached the banks of Yamuna, he saw a wonderful phenomenon where a beautiful young woman was fanned by hundreds of maids, and then she stopped me and asked to help her. I don't have beyond this because I had to log off early. I had another seva. So I missed to listen to the rest of the lesson as well, which I will pick up.
Okay,
but if
no
someone
problem.
else can summarize, it will be very nice.
Yeah, this was very good.
Sorry, Prabhu, I don't have it with the
No,
whole.
it's really good. Anyone else would like to summarize from this point onwards? See, these sessions will only be effective to the degree that you listen attentively while you're in the session and you refresh again and again throughout the week. To the degree you do that, it will be effective. Srimad Bhagavatam is like medicine. Just by purchasing the medicine, one does not recover from the disease. One has to regularly take the medicine and then make sure that one is not doing what is going to give adverse effect at the same time. So try to cut down on non-devotional activities and listening to the Bhagavatam every week, the Glories, listening to these recordings. I know many of you find it difficult, but actually it's not difficult. Where there is a will, there is a way. We find time to do so many things. And we are very keen to do those things, either because they give us pleasure or give pleasure to someone else. Srimad Bhagavatam is one of the 5 principles that Mahaprabhu said that every Gaudiya Vaishnava should abide by. To study Srimad Bhagavatam, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So I understand you might have to leave early, you might have to log in late. And I think this is all, you see, as Kali Yuga progresses, Krishna tries, in a sense, to make this Srimad Bhagavatam available in more and more easier fashion. I mean, back in the days, you had to actually physically travel to listen to someone and sit there, and you could not multitask. And now we can multitask, and we are in the comfort of our own homes, and there's still recordings that we can revisit. But then there's also, what Krishna is trying to give this, Kali Yuga personified is also performing its dharma. So although you have the recordings, you just don't have time to go through recordings. And there is so much to listen, so much to read, and so much to get involved in. So I think this is Kali Yuga's ways of making us engaged in multiple things. Would anyone like to summarize the rest of the verses?
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Can I
Krishna,
try,
please.
please? Hare Krishna.
Please go ahead.
So basically, I'm just referring to my notes, and what I understand is Narada asked this woman, "Who are you, and who are these women surrounded, and who are these two old men?" So she tells Narada that my name is Bhakti, and my sons are Jnana and Vairagya. And I was born in Dravid, and I reached Vraja. She's very grief-stricken because her sons have become very old. And how is that I remain young? And then Narada tells Bhakti that people in Kali Yuga are like Aghasura, fraudulent and with wicked deeds. The earth in Kali Yuga is a burden on Shesha. You are old because you are neglected, and no one wants you, Bhakti or your sons. In Vrindavan altogether, you are young because you are appreciated there. The sons are old in Vrindavan because they have not found any customers. No one wants knowledge or austerity. They have not given up their old age because they are surviving. They have not given their old age. They are surviving because they are relishing in themselves. Then Bhakti asked Narada why Parikshit allows Kalyug to stay. Where did essence of good qualities go to? So why did Hari himself see these adharmas going on? How did he allow these things? Please tell us this doubt. And she says that your words will make me happy. So Narada replies that because he saw some exceptional good in Kali Yuga, that result that you cannot obtain in austerity, that result is perfectly attained in Kali Yuga. And how can we attain that? Is by doing Harinam. Because Harinam is so powerful in the Kali Yuga. And in this world, external thing is this, that the essence is gone. Like we saw that you showed us the picture of the husk as such, and without the germ is which is found in the Kali Yuga. So this is the perfect example of what is actually the essence. You further explained in Satya Yuga, we have the tapas, we do the tapasya. In Treta Yuga, we do the yajna. In Dwar Yuga, Dwapara, we do the archana. And in Kal Yuga, it is only and only the Harinam. In Kali Yuga, we can do Harinam, and we do not need to do any tapasya, yajna, or archanam. Narada said, why there is no essence left in Kali Yuga? Because they want just money, and essence is lost. And further, you said that the essence is lost, more greed, anxious. The situation is that we are more anxious to fulfill our greed, lust, But in Kali, and people want to just show off that they are absorbed in Krishna. They are very meek. The mind is uncontrolled, and they do not actually want to study any shastras at all. And then our mind is not is our mind can be ajay only if we are really absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Why is this enduring in Kali Yuga, which is the benefit of Harinam? The Kali Yuga is doing is dharma, enduring everything. But Krishna is there in Kali Yuga. Bhakti continues, and she was and listening to all of this, Bhakti was amazed by Narada's response. And yes, Prabhuji, please, that's where we concluded.
Yeah.
My level best. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Hare
Very good.
Krishna.
Very good. Excellent. There were two things that you missed, which is that the Panditas, they are only expert in producing sons. They are not expert in how to help somebody attain liberation from this bondage of this world. And then this is a very important verse actually. Nahi Vaishnavata Kutra Sampradaya Purasara. Previously, people would follow Vaishnavism according to Sampradaya. Now everyone is following according to their own imagination. Nahi Vaishnavata Kutra. There is no Vaishnavata left. Which kind of Vaishnavata? Sampradaya Purasara. Sara means, Saranam means to follow. To, like a stream of water is called Sarita because it follows, it flows. So Puraha means previously, Sara, what was previously followed. Previously, people used to follow the Sampradaya. That kind of Vaishnavata is lost. Evam pralayatam prapto vastu saraha sthale sthale. In every place, vastu sara is gone. The essence is gone. The show is there. Srila Prabhupada used a very nice word. He said, show bottle sannyas. The Prabhupada's words. What that means is somebody is wearing the dress of a sannyasi. He's got a danda. He's got nice tilak. And many followers. But in his mind, he's thinking of wealth, wine, and woman. This is a show bottle because Prabhupada said he was a pharmacist before. Prabhupada said sometimes, in the pharmacy, when you're producing, he was actually a manufacturer, Prabhupada was. He would manufacture medication. So on the display in the front of the pharmacy, you sometimes have a bottle and it might say something. It might say some name of the chemical. But this bottle actually looks exactly like, and there might be some liquid inside also. It may look exactly like that original bottle with the chemical, but in reality, what is inside is only water, and the bottle is only a show. So Prabhupada coined this phrase, show bottle sannyas. So show bottle Vaishnavas, there are many in Kali Yuga, but the Vaishnavism in philosophy or Siddhanta, Vaishnavism in terms of culture, and Vaishnavism in terms of character. These three have to be together. You cannot say that I'm Vaishnava in philosophy, but my character is hopeless. Or I'm a Vaishnava in character, but I have no philosophy. Or I have philosophy and character, but I have no culture. So these three, Sampradaya, Purasara, Vaishnavata, Pralayatam Prahaptaha. Nahi Vaishnavata kutra. Nahi. He's saying it's not there. So then the other one was, I think I covered both, yeah. Then we finished this. Bhakti Devi continues. She was amazed with Narada's response. She glorified him as Guru of Dhruv and Prahlad. You know, Dhruv Maharaj went to the forest and Narada gave him an instruction to meditate on Vishnu, on Hari. Same with Prahlad, he was in the womb of his mother. And Narada instructed him on Bhakti. So Narada is a guru of both Dhruv and Prahlad, two great personalities. So Bhakti Devi is saying, Narada, you are a guru of Dhruv and Prahlad. So please help me. So we see as we continue, Narada is encouraging her. Narada says, just remember Krishna's lotus feet, Hari's lotus feet, and don't worry. Krishna, simply through remembrance of Krishna, he saved Draupadi, who was being disrobed in the assembly of the Kurus. And similarly, just by remembrance of Krishna, he saved the gopis from Shankachuda. Similarly, simply by remembering him, he will save you. And you have a divine origin of bhakti. Let me remind you, when you first appeared, you asked the Lord, Kim karomi? What should I do? And he replied, Mad bhaktan poshaya. You nourish my devotees. So you have a great instruction from the Lord himself. And this mukti, she is your maidservant. These two, Jnana and Vairagya, they are your sons. Simply remember Hari's lotus feet. Just bear in mind that here Narada is giving the instruction to chant Hari's name and to remember Hari's lotus feet. And simply by doing this alone, Jnana and Vairagya are not reviving. So it seems that this chanting and remembrance has to be done along with something. If you see what I mean, if you're doing chanting and you're doing some remembering of Krishna on your own, then something is missing still, because even though you do these two, you are not invoking Jnana and Vairagya. Something is still amiss. So then he's saying, Narad Muni is saying the history. He's saying, Muktim Jnanam Viraktim Cha. Mukti, who is your maidservant, and then this Jnana and Vairagya, who are your children. Saha Kritva Gata Bhuvi. You came on earth, Bhuvi, with all of them. You came with Mukti, Jnana, Vairagya. Kritadi Dvaparasyantam. From Adi, from the beginning of Krita. Krita means Satyuga. Dvaparasya Antam. Adi Antam. Beginning of Satyuga to the end of Dwapar Yuga. You remained here on earth with your maidservant Mukti and Jnana and Vairagya. How did you remain here? Mahanandena samsthita, with great happiness. Mahanandena, with great happiness, you remained here. But now what has happened? Kalau mukti kshayam prapta. In Kali Yuga, mukti kshayam prapta. Kshaya means became zero, is no longer there. So what happened to mukti? How can it just go away? How can it be zero? And why? Pakhandamaya pidita. Because mukti was so much pained by pakhanda. Pakhanda means show or demonstration. Whether you possess or not, you demonstrate. So this show is such a thing that even if you don't possess anything, you must show it. There is such an urge to show it. Once there was an old lady and she was living in a straw hut, very small straw hut. And this lady, she practically had no possessions. However, her mother-in-law had given her one set of gold bangles, real gold. So she would put that on. But because she was a poor lady, old lady, no son, no husband, just living by herself and working in the fields, no one would really bother looking at her or even noticing the bangles. So she schemed one day, oh, I have gold bangles, nobody is noticing. So she schemed. What did she scheme? She had these gold bangles and she thought, these bright, shiny bangles, I am going to make sure the whole village recognizes. So one day in the middle of the night, her only possession, her straw hut, she set the hut on fire. And there was smoke coming out. And she started crying out loud, fire, fire, fire. And the people of the village all gathered. And as she was pointing to the house and saying, please put the water there, no, put some water there too, she was clapping her hands together. She was clapping her hands together and showing the direction in which they should spray the water. And while clapping her hands, she was also trying to clap the bangles to show that she has gold bangles. So at the cost of burning her own house, she wanted to draw the attention of the people to her bangles. This is the situation in Kali Yuga. One possesses practically nothing, but one wants to make the show of what, what are the things people want to show? They want to show, Kunti Maharani says, Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribhi. Janma. People want to show they are born in good family, rich family, or they are born in nice lineage. Oh, I belong to this. My forefather was a great, carpenter. It doesn't matter. Or was a great king, or was a great devotee, or this, that. Everyone wants to do something. Janma. Or look at me, I'm American, but I'm also British, and I'm also Irish, and I'm also German. I've got 4 passports. Something to do with your birth. Or I belong to such and such family. I'm belonging to the Mittal family. So Janma, something to do with the birth. Aishwarya, people want to show their money, possessions, or power, you can say. Oh, I'm so powerful. I manage 100 people at work. I am the president of the temple. I am the in charge of the Prasadam distribution service. Or I'm in charge of extra, brahmachari ashram, something. I'm just making it up. But Aishwarya, or I have so much investment, so many properties. Now you may not in Kali Yuga, because Kali Yuga has not progressed fully. People don't do it grossly, they do it subtly. You're not going to grossly go to everyone and say, I have 20 properties, or I have big investments, or I have, I don't know, 10 kilos of gold. People are not going to say like this. It's very subtle. From the way you dress on Janmashtami, the wife will wear all kinds of gold and bangles. I've seen this in India. So Aishwarya, any kind of power, possession, Janma Aishwara, Aishwarya, Shruta. Shruta means learning. Oh, I know the Vedas. I am a scholar of Bengali. I'm a scholar of Gaudiya literature. I'm a Sanskrit scholar, scholar of Bhagavatam. I am, really pakka in my understanding of the Gaudiya Siddhanta. Shruta, Shri. Shri means beauty. Shri also means wealth. And this we are showing off. All this is Pakhanda. Because actually what you are showing off is just the after effect of some good karma that you might have done. Like if you eat some good meal and you eat too much of it, next day morning you go to the toilet, you pass the stool. How many people you want to tell about your stool? How excited you are to tell people about your stool? Not really. This is similarly the after effect of your previous karma. You had some good karma. So you have good Janma, good Aishwarya, good Shruta, good Shri. No need to make it into a propaganda, into an announcement. We may say some things to some, inner circle or close people may know certain things, which is evident, which has to happen because those who are close, we like to share things. But when you make it like a propaganda, this is pakhanda. Like this lady, her only possession is one set of gold bangles. She wants to show at the cost of burning her house. That mukti became so distressed, pidita, that she left earth. There is no mukti possible on earth for anyone. That's what Narad Muni is saying. But there is an exception. Tvad adnaya gata shigram. Tvad adnaya, O Bhakti Devi, by your order, although she has gone, shigram, Vaikuntham, she has quickly gone to Vaikuntha. So there is no bhakti, there is no mukti here. Punarevasa, although she has gone quickly, smruta tvayapi chatraiva. Smruta, when you remember her, although she has gone to Vaikuntha from here, when you remember Mukti Devi, Muktir ayati yati cha, she immediately comes. So who can give mukti as a side effect? Bhakti. Now it's very easy to understand. Bhakti is the mistress, is the boss. Mukti is introduced as the Dāsi. So if the Swamini is there, if the Lord or the mistress is there, or the lady is there, then the servant will also be there. So as soon as the lady commissions or claps 3 times, the servant will come running. So Mukti Devi is the servant that comes running. Smrita tvayapi chatra. Immediately. Putri kritya tvayemaucha. Tvaya imaucha putri kritya. And you took these 2 as your sons. Putri kritya means you consider them to be your sons. Parshve swasyaiva rakshitau. and you keep them next to you. So who are the two sons? So Bhakti Devi has two sons, Dhyana and Vairagya, and they are always together. Upekshata kalau mandau vriddhau jatau sutau tava. Now these two, Jnana and Vairagya, in Kali Yuga they are upekshata. Upeksha means indifference. No one really bothers. There are so many books, Prabhupada's books, so many Prabhupada's books. No one bothers to touch them. This is Bhakti Vardhaka Jnana. Prabhupada's books are not Jnana, they are Bhakti Vardhaka Jnana. That which increases bhakti. Just like when you have a small boy, 5-year-old, one who is in love with that small boy, his mother and father automatically will feel love for that person. And to the degree that boy is loved, to that degree the mother also feels very happy. So this Jnana, Prabhupada books, is Bhakti Vardhaka. The Vairagya, following the 4 regulative principles, waking up early, finishing all your rounds, reading regularly, doing seva. All this is Vairagya because you have to sacrifice something. So this nowadays not many want to do. There was a gentleman by the name of Steve. He later on became Satswarup Das Goswami. He told Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, these hippies, they really want to join our movement, but you've put these 4 regulative principles. I mean, the hippies can manage no meat eating. Most of them believe in vegetarianism and peace, and so they don't want to eat meat anyway. Yeah, they take drugs, but I think they can manage no intoxication and no gambling anyway. They have no money to gamble. So these 3 principles are fine, but no illicit sex, that they cannot do. So Prabhupada, if we want to attract more thousands and thousands of hippies to our movement, maybe we should cut down the 4 regulative principles to 3. And we should just say, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication. And Srila Prabhupada looked at him and said, in the Shastra, there are no separate rules for the Americans. So he said, Vairagya, you have to do 4 regs. This is negative, what you don't have to do. But then there are some positive things, chanting, reading, associating, serving. Because of upeksha towards this jnana and vairagya, vriddhau jatau sutau tava, both your sons have become old. Tathapi chintam munchatvam. Still, please don't have chinta. Don't worry. Upayam chintayamyaham. I'm going to find a upaya. I'm going to find a solution for you. So please understand this. I'm going to now say something which is really, you have to focus your mind and understand. It is a great secret. If you miss this part, you may actually miss some very fine understanding, very fine understanding. After this part, if you have a question, you can ask me because it's a very fine thing. So please stay focused now as I speak. In Bhagavatam, we have a verse, Tat Shraddhadhana Munayo Tat Shraddhadhana. Shraddhadhana means one who has Shraddha. Shraddha, common people translate as faith. Munayaha. Munayaha means one who can discriminate. What is right, what is wrong? For example, if I ask you to put your hand in fire, you will not put, because you can discriminate. You can know, if I put my hand in fire, I will burn. You know the after effects. So discrimination. Faith, let's call it faith for now, although it means a lot more than just the English word faith. Faith, discrimination, tat shraddhadhana munayo, jnana vairagya yuktaya, accompanied with jnana and vairagya. Yukta means accompanied with. Pashyanti atmani chatmanam. It's a person who has faith and discrimination and bhaktya, and who has bhakti. Now, if you see, the end case tells us that these words are connected. In Sanskrit, this is how it works. So, jnana vairagya yuktaya, bhaktya shruta grihitaya. Bhakti, which is produced through shruta, through listening. So, how is bhakti generated? This is in the second chapter of the very first canto of Bhagavatam. Shruta grihitaya. You can grihita means you can grab bhakti. You can attain bhakti through shruta. The more shruta you do, the more bhakti will be produced. Shruta grihitaya bhaktya. And this bhakti will not come alone. The bhakti will come with jnana and vairagya. Jnana vairagya yuktaya bhaktya shruta grihitaya. If one who possesses faith and discrimination engages in hearing the scriptures, then bhakti is produced along with jnana and vairagya. And what is the effect? The effect is this line here. Pashyanti atmani chatmanam. One will see in one's own self the atmanam. Atmani, in one's atma, one will see atmanam. What is that atmanam? The Supreme Lord as Paramatma. One will be able to see that in one's heart there is Paramatma. One will have Shakshatkar of Paramatma. But what are the preconditions here? Please understand. It depends on one's faith and it depends on one's discrimination. Only based on those two, when one listens to Shastra, then one produces bhakti along with jnana and vairagya. Then the result is, or the effect is produced. Now, if you understood this much, let us see what Jiva Goswami says. And this is very, very important. So please focus. So this is the verse that I just mentioned. Jiva Goswami is saying, Bhaktya tat katha ruche. What is this bhakti? Tat katha ruchi. Bhakti means katha ruchi, having developed a taste for hearing the katha of the Lord, like Bhagavatam. Eva para avastha rupaya prema lakshanaya tat purvokta tattvam. This ruchi, this love that one develops for the katha of the Lord, para avastha rupaya prema lakshanaya, is not just ruchi because one wants to understand. It is ruchi because one is going positively upwards in bhakti, and this ruchi has the characteristics of love. So this hearing is with love. Atmani means in Shuddhe Chetasi, in pure consciousness. Pashyanti cha, one will see. What will one see? The Supreme Lord in one's own heart. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Jnana Matrasya ka varta. It is not about just ordinary knowledge. Jnana Matrasya ka varta. What to speak of ordinary knowledge, just knowledge. Shakshadapi kurvanti iti arthaha. Pashyanti here means that shakshat kurvanti. One will see, one will experience. Not ordinary knowledge, just knowing, but experiencing. Kidrisham tadatmanam. What will one experience? Who is that Atma? What kind of Atma is that? Swarupakya, Jivakya, Maya Shaktinam Ashrayam. That Supreme Lord, who is the Ashraya, who is the shelter for Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and his own Swarup Shakti. That Lord will reveal himself in full in the heart. Now, this point is very important. Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya. Jnanam cha Vairagyam cha Tabhyam Yuktaya. One has to be Yukta, means performing bhakti along with jnana and vairagya. What are these jnana and vairagya? Are they in addition to bhakti? Does one have to perform bhakti and separately endeavor for jnana, separately endeavor for some vairagya? No. He says, Swatmajabhyam, Swa-atmaja. These are children. Atmaja means born from one's own self. These are the children of bhakti. Tabhyam sevitaya. Ataeva te munayah pruthak cha vishishtam cha swechaya pashyanti iti ayati. These munis means what? The person who pruthak cha vishishtam cha. What is to be separated? What is unique that is to be accepted? Discrimination. Swechaya. Executes one's free will and discriminates. You might have so many conflicting priorities in life, so many opportunities. You may be able to do 10 things at any given point of time. What is it that you actually do? Depends on your ability to discriminate what is most important for you. Swechaya, executing one's free will to discriminate, to separate, pruthak, and to find what is special, vishishtam. That's Jiva Goswami saying. Tadevam. And now how does that discrimination come? And what else is needed along with discrimination? Tadevam shrutagrihitaya. Shrutagrihitaya. One has to be surrendered to Shruti. Shruti here doesn't mean just Vedas, but the scriptures. Munayaha. Discriminating. And Shraddadhana. Iti padatrayena, by these three words, Shruta Grihitaya, Munayaha, and Shraddadhana. Iti padatrayena, by these three words, Tasya eva bhakter. Daurlabhyam means rareness, darshitam. By saying that one has to have these three, one has to be Shraddadhana, Munaya, and Shruta Grihitaya. You may find someone who kind of discriminates. You may find a person with some faith. You may find a person with some knowledge of Shastra. But to find all three means this bhakti, to get this three in one together, means this bhakti is padatrayena tasya eva bhaktir daurlabhyam darshitam. Rareness of this bhakti is demonstrated. Sadguru Sakashad, when one goes close to a Sadguru, here Sad means, it's not name of some person. Here Sad means devotee. Guru who is a devotee. Sadguroho Shakshad Vedant Adi Akhila Shastrartha Vichar Shravana Dvara. So one has to do this. One has to Vedanta Adi. Scriptures like Vedanta, etc. Akhila, all those scriptures. Shastra Artha. Understand the meaning. Then understanding the meaning, do Vichara. Think on those. And continue doing the Shravana, hearing. Dvara. Yadi Swa Avashyaka Parama Kartavyattvena Nyayate. This is Avashyaka Parama Kartavya. This must be done. Punascha Bhagwan Brahma Kartsnena. This is from Bhagavatam. Bhagwan Brahma Kartsnena means Bhagwan Brahma means Brahmaji. Kartsnena perfectly. Trir Anvikshya Manishaya. 3 times he scanned the Vedas. Tad Adhyavasyat Kutastho. And he determined. Adhyavasyat means determined. Ratiratmani Yato Bhavet. He determined, he concluded by reading the Vedas 3 times, who? Brahma. Scanning the Vedas 3 times, all of the Vedas, that the ultimate goal of all happiness is to please Krishna. Ratir Atmani Ato Bhavet. Itivad yadi viparita bhavana tyajakau. Now, here he said about jnana. What is jnana? He defined it as taking surrender of Guru and understanding the artha, doing the vichara and hearing. And now he is defining what kind of vairagya that is needed. Viparita bhavana tyajakau. Viparita bhavana tyajakau. Whatever is opposite to, whatever is non-conducive to bhakti, to that kind of thinking, to give up. That is the vairagya that is needed. Manana yogyata mananabhiniveshau. Abhinivesha literally means investment. Investing in manana yogyata manana abhiniveshau. Whatever is appropriate, invest in thinking about that. Syatam tataha. Then shraddhadanaischa sa bhaktir upasana dvara labhyate. Labhyate. Then one will attain Tataha shraddhadanaischa. Then if one does this with faith, then that bhakti through upasana, here upasana means sadhana, through sadhana one will attain. So he is giving the formula to attain bhakti. Very beautiful. Now one might have a doubt. It isn't just we hear that, you just chant Hare Krishna and that's good enough. Yes, correct. But chant Hare Krishna. How? It's like saying, if you really have a craving for something, some sweet fruit, then just eat a mango. Now, it may be a simple instruction like that, but the how is important. Where do I find the mango? What does a mango look like? I have never even heard the word mango. What is it? What do I do when I get the mango fruit? How do I peel it? Is there anything in the fruit that is not consumable, like the stone? So there is some understanding to be needed. Is it going to cost me something? You have to pay a price, some vairagya, some tyaga. You have to part with some hard-earned money to buy some mangoes? Or do I have to go to India to pluck it from some tree? So, there are so many elements. Similarly, here we see that bhakti labhyate will be attained if one does this. Jnana vairagya yuktam. Very important. Now, one may say that we have heard chanting alone is sufficient, or something like, I'm just doing seva. Somebody told me, Prabhu, I've been serving at the manor for 44 years. I just like doing seva. I said, good. How is your japa? And how is your reading and hearing? Oh, I can't remember anything anyway, so I don't listen. What about chanting? Yeah, I chant in the morning when I go for my gym. And then on the morning walk, I just chant while I'm doing the gym or while I'm doing the treadmill, or maybe I'm walking in the park, I just chant. You think Krishna consciousness is so cheap that simply by doing some high level activity, one can attain ananya bhakti? Ananya bhakti, like the gopis. Ananya bhakti means love which is uncompromised. So bhakti definition is there. Please listen to this. This is so sweet and so powerful, what I'm just going to share now. And it's very rare to have this clarity of understanding. So please focus. We all hear that Uttama Bhakti is defined by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu as what? As Krishnanushilanam. Krishna Anushilanam. Uttama Bhakti is that which is done as a favorable act for Krishna, for pleasing Krishna. Krishna Anushilanam. Anushilan means, in simple words, it means pleasing, you may say. So pleasing Krishna is bhakti, is the Uttama Bhakti. But there is some finer aspects. Anya bhilashita shunyam. One should have no other abhilasha, no other goals. Jnana karma dhyanavritam. There should be no covering, anavritam, no covering of jnana or karma. So now there is a problem. In the previous verse, it said bhakti has to be performed with its two sons. You're not going to separate the mother from the sons. You're not going to do bhakti without any jnana and without any vairagya, because bhakti is not happy. As you can see here, when Narad Muni initially just told Bhakti Devi, just chant and remember Krishna, she was not happy. She said, what about my sons? I cannot be happy without my sons being revived. So, previous verse said one has to perform jnana by hearing from a Sadguru and understanding the artha, the meaning, doing the vichara, means thinking about it, and shravana, constantly hearing. That produces attraction for the Lord. And one has to do vairagya by not attaching oneself to those things which are not favorable for our remembrance of the Lord. So over there it says you have to do Jnana Vairagya. In this verse, Uttama Bhakti, the best bhakti, is defined as Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, having no other desires, Jnana Karma Adi, etc. Anavritam. It should not be covered by any knowledge, any karma. Now, there are two different opposite things being said. It's apparently. So we will see what. This is the most beautiful, enlightening commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and I'm going to unpack it for us. Punah kidrisham. So in what way? In what way, or in what sense is this verse saying jnana karmadi anavritam? Please understand this. Try to understand this. Commentary is so important. He says directly, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says directly, when one says one should have no knowledge, bhakti does not depend on knowledge, should have no knowledge. What knowledge are we talking about? Jnanam, knowledge. Atra, here the knowledge which is being spoken about, which is not needed for bhakti, is nirbheda brahma nusandhanam. Brahma anusandhanam. That knowledge of undifferentiated nirbheda, undifferentiated Brahman, the impersonal knowledge, natu, is understand. That knowledge which is nirbheda brahmanusandhanam, na, that is not needed. Tu, but bhajaniya tattvanusandhanam api tasya avashya apekshaniyatvat. Avashya means avashya, tasya avashya apekshaniyatvat. Apekshaniya means it is expected. Avashya means certainly expected. What knowledge is certainly expected? Bhajaniya tatvanusandhanam. That knowledge which will anusandhanam, which will connect us tattva to that supreme truth, bhajaniya, which is being worshipped. Who is that supreme truth that we all are worshipping? Krishna. That knowledge which connects us to Krishna is avashya apekshaniya. Apekshaniya means expected. Avashya means certainly. Similarly, he says karma. The definition says no jnana, no karma. So he says karma smartam nitya naimittikadi na. What kind of karma should not be done? Smarta karma. We are doing some vidhis, some kind of puja part. Some nitya karma is also, chanting your daily, doing your daily homa, chanting your daily gayatri. Naimittika means shraddha karma, etc. Actually, bhakti doesn't depend on these, including gayatri. I'm not trying to be controversial. The Kama Gayatri given by Gaudiyas in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, it helps one go towards Krishna. The other Gayatri, which is also known as not the Kama Gayatri, but the Gayatri in the Vedas, the Veda Gayatri, which is considered to be the mother of the Vedas. Gayatri is mother of the Vedas. That Gayatri will raise one to the Brahma Bhuta platform, will not take one to Krishna Prema. So the Kam Gayatri given to the Brahmanas during initiation is a different Gayatri. That Kama Gayatri is in line with what we want to do, but the Nitya Naimittikadi na, but there is no necessity. Smarta Brahmanas, what they do, puja part, that karma is not needed. No. Tu bhajaniya paricharyadi, but whom we consider as worshipable, his paricharya, his worship, tasya tad anushilana rupatvat, because that is favorable, that is increasing our love for him. That kind of karma is needed. For example, we are all going to the manor and we're doing some seva. Somebody is making samosa, somebody is in the on the altar fanning Krishna, another person is playing kartal. What is all this? This is also karma. Is it not karma? Karma means action. Everyone is performing some action. So if bhakti means no action, so you should just sit at home and just not do anything. No. Karma means those karma which are nitya naimittika smarta karma should not be performed. But all the bhajaniya, paricharyadi, tasya tad, anushilana rupatvat, they must be performed. And the word adi means, adi shabdena, the word adi, phalgu vairagya, yoga sankhya abhyasadayas, tai anavritam. The phalgu vairagya should be given up, the false renunciation. What is false renunciation? Oh, I am doing, Mangalvar. Means on Tuesdays I don't eat meat. I don't drink wine. But otherwise, everything is okay. All other days is okay. Or I am just doing Falgu Vairagya can also be externally renounced, internally having all kinds of desires. That should be given up. So when Shastra says Jnana, Karma, Vairagya should be given up, one must understand what Vairagya is being spoken of, what Jnana and what Karma is spoken of, which should be given up. Yoga Sankhya Abhyas, Yoga and Sankhya Abhyas, that Abhyas should be given up, not Shastra Abhyas that takes us to Krishna. Tair Anavritam, Anavritam, which means these things should not cover your bhakti. Natu Shunyam, this is beautiful. If you read the verse, it says this Jnana, Karma, Vairagya, etc. should not cover your bhakti. So let's try to unpack this. This is very, very sweet and very important. What do you mean by cover bhakti? Knowledge, karma, vairagya, etc. should not cover your bhakti. What is the meaning? He is now going to unpack that. Tena cha bhakti avarkanam eva jnana karmadinam nishedho abhipretah. What is being intended? Abhipretah. Nishedha is that negation of jnana karmadinam, that kind of jnana, karma, vairagya, etc., which is bhakti avarakanam, which is an avarana on bhakti, which is a covering on bhakti. So you might say, how can bhakti be covered? Bhakti can be covered? What are you saying? How can bhakti be covered? Bhakti avarakatvam nama. So he is explaining. Bhakti avarakatvam means, nama means, means, means. Covering of bhakti means vidhi shashanam nitya karma karane pratyavayadi bhayat shraddhaya kriyamanatvam. Shashanam. You are doing fasting on Tuesdays. Vidhi shashanam. Because some scripture says, or somebody says, or someone told you, somebody taught you. Nitya karma karane. You are doing nitya karmas. You are doing some havan or some puja part every day reading some little part, some, I don't know, whatever, some devata you are trying to please. Why you are trying to do that? This you understand very clearly. Pratyavayadi, because you are afraid of committing sin. Oh, if I don't read this part, then such and such devata will be upset with me. So I should. Or this graha, in my chart, Shani is very bad. Now I have Sadesati of Shani. So I'm doing Shani part every day. Otherwise, Shani will be very upset with me. Bhayat. Because of sin or because of fear. What does one do? One puts Shraddha, one puts faith in activities that are related to Jnana, Karma or Vairagya. Those activities cover bhakti. Tatha bhaktyadi rupeshta sadhanatvat shraddhaya kriyamanatvam cha. This is beautiful. He says, even if one performs bhakti, because one thinks that by performing bhakti, I'm going to temple and I'm going to give 100 pounds in the donation box and I'm just going to offer some nice, beautiful rose flowers to Krishna so that I can pass my exams, so that I can get a better job. I have no concept of anything else. I'm just going every week to do seva because I'm meeting nice people. This, he says, is a covering on real bhakti. So actually, bhakti cannot be covered. But, there was one in Akbar and Birbal, there is one katha, very small story. That there was once Akbar asked that, Birbal, I'm going to give you one rope. And this is the length of the rope. And my question to you is, you are a very clever man. without tying this rope, without untying this rope or tying this rope with another rope, or using any tools or any adjustments, can you make this rope shorter without cutting it? Make it shorter. Can you do it? You don't have to do any, you can't remove some strands or nothing. You can't use any tools, you can't chop it, but make it shorter. So Birbal was asked, how can you make this rope shorter? So he was very clever. He said, yes, I can do it. He went and he brought another rope, which was longer than this rope. And suddenly this rope became shorter. Similarly, we have, this is our bhakti, our degree of devotion. Our degree of devotion. This degree of devotion is fed by our faith. So think of this line as the faith. So if I say bhakti, let's say bhakti, then I will say some devata, and let's say some, I will say some, I'm wearing some charm, some kind of a wristband for a charm. Okay. So I'm going to say some charm. Okay. So if my faith in bhakti is this much, this is my faith, Shraddha in bhakti is this much. My faith in doing this Devata puja is this much. And the charm is really, I mean, I don't even sleep at night without this charm. I never remove it. Then one has actually covered bhakti. You can never, in this sense, one has covered bhakti because one's rope of charm and Devata is much bigger than the faith of bhakti. So what is our real measure in what we do? Is the faith. Because you can see here the word Shraddhaya Kriyamanatvam. Sadhanatvat Shraddhaya Kriyamanatvam. Now, what if the reverse is true? So for instance, if I draw another screen, maybe I will draw the next screen. Actually, I have some space. What if this is bhakti, and let's say I'm performing some shraddha, you know, this shraddha ceremony when our ancestors have died and we offer shraddha for the ancestors. So let's say and then maybe I'm doing some Kodiyar Ma puja. Kodiyar Ma is one local mother goddess. She is Kula Devi of, let's say she is Kul Devi for me. Suppose. She's not, I'm just giving some example. But let's say my Kul Devi was some Kodiyar Ma, and I'm doing Kodiyar Ma puja, and I'm also doing Shraddha and Tarpan for my ancestors. And then my faith in Krishna Bhakti. When I say Bhakti, I only mean Krishna Bhakti, no other Bhakti. Huh? So let's say the person has this much faith in Bhakti, and the scale is this, and their faith in Shraddha is this much, their faith in Devi is this much. Then has that person covered bhakti or not covered bhakti? This is also another question, because here I gave example where your bhakti is only this much and your faith in devata and charms and other things was much bigger, so you covered bhakti. But what about the reverse? Is this person a devotee or not a devotee? Devotee, yes or no? So please listen carefully. So beautiful, so deep. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur opens this completely, speaks it so openly. He says, Tena loka sangraha artham. If someone performs shraddha or worships some devata, just loka sangraha artham, just so that people may not become critical. Yeah, my family tradition is that they offer this Shraddha. My family tradition is they go to this Khodyarma once in life after marriage, and once if somebody dies, they go there and they make some offering. So here he is saying, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Tena Lokasangrahartham Shraddhaya Pitradi means Shraddhangam, like Shraddha ceremony, Kurvata Maha Anubhavanam, such great personalities when they perform Shraddha ceremony, etc. Shuddha Bhaktau Na Avyaptihi. One should not consider that they have also become like everyone else, because their faith in bhakti is still vyapta. Vyapta means all pervading. One should not consider that they have bhaktau na avyaptihi. They have not become avyapta. It's not that their faith in bhakti has reduced. So what is the answer? This person is still a devotee if one has no shraddha, no faith in other things, although doing. So please understand, it is not the doing that is important. It is the being that is the important thing. When we come new in Krishna consciousness, early years in Krishna consciousness, it's all about doing. I go to this seminar, I go to this retreat, I go to this meeting, I go to this kirtan mela, I go to this kirtan, I go to this. But you have very little change in you as a person. How much love have we developed for Krishna? Can we speak to Krishna in our heart? That is being. An advanced devotee focuses on being. As we advance gradually, we will focus more and more on being rather than just doing. And for an advanced devotee, this is another beautiful thing I want to tell you. So please understand this very clearly. For an advanced devotee, you see, there is doing, which is external, and there is being, which is internal. This is internal, this is external. For a new devotee or struggling devotee or a neophyte devotee, doing is for doing sake. For a pure devotee, they may be doing the same thing, but their doing is coming from the being. They are singing the kirtan and dancing because they are actually feeling the love. We are singing in the kirtan because we like the sound of the music, the voice of the singer. Perhaps we like some beautiful people dancing, and the beautiful dance moves of the brahmacharis or the sannyasi who is dancing or something. Or if you're a lady, then some beautiful lady in front of you dancing. You are looking at them. So our doing is for the doing. Our doing is from the doing. But a pure devotee, to the degree one becomes pure, their doing is from their being. This is a important sutra. Their doing is from their being. This is what he says. He says, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Shuddha Bhaktau na avyaptihi. This, because that person's shraddha is not there, but that person is still fully a devotee. His shraddha in this Shraddha karma, Devata karma is nothing, zero. So he's still a devotee. So externally one may not be able to judge. And this is the final point I want to make. That one cannot judge externally. So in summary, and just to finish the commentary, Atra Shri Krishnanushilanam Krishna Bhaktiriti Vaktavye Bhagvat Shastreshu Kevalasya Bhakti Shabdasya Tatreva Vishrantihi. The only shelter bhakti, the word bhakti can take, the only shelter, Vishranti, beautiful language. See, language is language, but even in Sanskrit, you can speak in beautiful Sanskrit. So he's speaking in such beautiful language. He says, the word bhakti can only take shelter of one thing, that which pleases Krishna. Iti abhiprayat tathoktam. Because of that opinion, this word has been said, Krishna Anushilanam. Okay, this is just, he's concluding there. But in summary, what did we understand? We understood that Jnana Vairagya Yukta Bhakti is needed. And that Yukta Bhakti is produced with study of the scriptures. That Bhakti, which is Shruta Grihitaya Jnana Vairagya Yukta. And the person should have discrimination and faith. Now you will understand this verse better after reading the other verses commentary. Because now you understand how important the faith is and how important the discrimination is. Only one who can really discriminate. There are multiple priorities. What do I do? Truly discriminate. That person can be rightly situated in bhakti. Shraddha and discrimination, never compromise on these two in your life. Never sell your faith cheaply to anything or anyone. And never lose your power of discrimination, your intelligence. Then with Jnana Vairagya, one performs bhakti by listening to the Shastra which produces bhakti. Because what did he say? He says, this Shastra Artha Vicharana Shravana, it produces bhakti. And then in the other verse, we understood that what kind of jnana, karma, etc. is not needed. The jnana which is Brahma jnana, the vairagya which is Phalgu vairagya, and the karma which is Smartha karma, Nitya Naimittika karma, that is not needed. But that knowledge which takes you closer to Krishna, bhajaniya tatvanusandhanam, that knowledge is needed. Actually, it is natu bhajaniya tatvanusandhanam. When anavritam, when knowledge has been denounced, it does not denounce that knowledge which is taking you to Krishna, connecting you to Krishna. It does not denounce that activity, karma, which is pleasing Krishna. It does not denounce that vairagya, which is assisting your closeness by taking you close to Krishna. And that is why he says, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very beautifully says, in the verse, it says not covered. It doesn't say zero. It doesn't say there should be no jnana, no karma, no vairagya. Please understand this. Such a subtle point, but beautiful point. Uttama bhakti does not mean there is no jnana, no karma, no vairagya. This is what he's saying here. Natu shunyam iti arthaha. This jnana, karma, vairagya should not become shunya, should not be zero. It is not that there should be no jnana, no vairagya, no karma. Why am I drilling this so much? Because understanding Siddhanta is so important. Because by non-understanding of Siddhanta, one may be driven by a different way. If you understand Siddhanta, you can understand, you can discriminate correctly. Otherwise, you cannot discriminate. Then it is just my view against your view against somebody else's view. What is the great thing about one's opinion? So, this is the summary. And then we said doing and being, and we ended by saying that if one has no faith in the other activities, one may perform those activities. And one will still be considered to be a devotee of the Lord. Because it's not the doing that defines one, it's the being that defines one. And hence, one cannot judge just based on the doing. One cannot judge anyone. So with this, I'll take a pause. This was the heavy piece. I'll take some questions and then I'll take a pause. So any questions? Yes.
Surya Gaurav Prabhu, would you like to ask a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu, for beautifully explaining the main point of Bhakti, that is the faith being there. So, just regarding the famous verse of second canto, that is the Akama Sharbakama ba Mokshakama Udarodhi Tivrena Bhakti Jagana Jajatat Purusham Param. So, here it is said, I mean, if someone is Akama or Sharbakama or Mokshakama, they just need to intensify their Bhakti Yoga. But if they don't have a faith in that of Bhakti Yoga in fully that you have described, what this Bhakti Yoga is going to lead to them? I mean, where are they going to end up?
Yeah, if they don't have full faith, then it is going to be Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Yoga Mishra Bhakti. And the destination of those are that one will end up in a higher state, in a higher planet perhaps, or in a higher situation. Jnana Mishra Bhakti may lead you to Brahma, up to Brahmalok, or up to Tapolok. Yoga Mishra Bhakti will lead you to Maharlok and above. And Karma Mishra Bhakti will take you to Swargalok. That's it. Then
So then,
you have to come back and continue.
so this Bhakti is actually, I mean, performing of that Bhakti is actually not leading to the purpose or the goal of attaining Bhakti.
It is
So,
still better than performing Ugra Karma. So the point is, one who is intelligent will perform Bhakti anyway. Even if it is Karma Mishra Bhakti, even if it is Jnana Mishra Bhakti, even if it is Yoga Mishra Bhakti. That is what Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita. Whole purpose of giving the yoga ladder in Bhagavad Gita is to say that, okay, in whatever sense one should perform bhakti. So there are chapters like Dhyana Yoga in Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. These are chapters. But akama, sarvakama va, mokshakama, udaradhi. The word udaradhi is important there. Udaradhi. One who has dhi, buddhi, udara. Udara meaning one who has expanded one's brain. Udara also means one who is very munificent, very giving, very broad. So the word udara actually means broad. One who is broad-minded, who really thinks. So it's like Krishna consciousness or bhakti is like one-stop shop. It's like Sainsbury, Yazda, you can buy everything. So you have akama, sarvakama, mokshakama, whatever you have, you should do bhakti. I have no desires. Okay, do bhakti. Kama. I have a lot of desires. I want to get a better car, a better wife, a better child, a better money. Yeah, there are people who say, I want a better wife. I want to get rid of this wife, or better husband. Very weird, because it's not according to dharma. But even some silly things you want to think, perform bhakti, whatever. Somewhere you will go at least. And akama, sarvakama, and mokshakama. And if you are mokshakami, I want liberation. Too much pain in this world. Okay, perform bhakti. This is the meaning of the
but
verse.
this is basically not Bhakti in that case. I mean, if this is
No, bhakti is bhakti. It is not uttama bhakti. You cannot say it is not bhakti. It is bhakti.
bro.
It's not uttama bhakti. Please try to understand. You may pass an exam at 40 marks out of 100. You are still pass, but you didn't get distinction. So it's not distinction pass. It's passed with pass class. Then there is pass with second class, pass with first class, pass with distinction, and then there is topper. So everyone may be pass category, better than not pass, better than fail. But it's not the same. They are not all the same. So it is bhakti. One cannot argue it is not bhakti at all. It's not uttama bhakti. It is not kevala bhakti. It is not ananya bhakti. When Krishna says ananya chintayanto ma, ananya chintayanto, this is ananya bhakti. There is nothing in your head other than him. When he says to Arjuna, Ma manusmara yudhyacha, constantly think of me, but also fight. Now you might say, oh, does that mean Arjuna is doing karma mishra bhakti because he's fighting? No, he's not. What is the proof that he's not doing karma mishra bhakti? The proof is he's following the instruction of Krishna, and Krishna said, Mam anusmara, at every moment, remember me and fight. So actually, his action of fighting is only external. His internal is Mam anusmara. Now, how do we know that he actually did it? Because at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, you do what you want. Yathet tatha kuru. Krishna, after saying the whole Bhagavad Gita, is saying, now you do what you want. What is Arjuna's reply? Karishye vachanam tava. Thank you, my sir. I will only do exactly as you said. So we know he did it. That means we know he did Ma manusmara yudhyacha. Anyway, we all need a break now, I think. At least I need a break. 5 minutes.
There is another question, Prabhu. Is that okay?
Yeah, Dharmavir Prabhu, go on.
Prabhu, thank you so much. I really thank you, Sujay Gaur Prabhu, for asking wonderful question and perfect answer given by Prabhuji. My question is not in terms of not doing but being. Is Pundarika Vidyanidhi one of the best examples? And Pundarika Vidyanidhi.
He's one of the many examples. Yes. There are many examples. So many examples. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi is one of them. He can be fanned by servants and served by some beautiful dasis and eating pan and spitting the pan in the spittoon and lying on a nice cushion, silk cushion. And Gadar Pandit comes and he says, oh, what kind of a man is this? And do you know who is Pundarik Vidyanidhi in spiritual world? Kavi Karnapur. He says, do you know who he is? Who is Pundarik Vidyanidhi?
I think Vrishabhanu.
Yes, he is Vrishabhanu Maharaj, father of Srimati Radharani. But externally, he looks like some ordinary person, some ordinary materialistic person. So this is the reality, that there are great devotees walking amongst us. And their potency can be known just like the litmus paper can tell us the acidity or the alkaline nature of a substance. Similarly, the devotee's potency can be known when we hear about Krishna from their mouth. Then their heart is coming out through their lips. Then we know what level this person is. So one has to be very clever in not quickly judging anyone. Yes, Prabhu. Okay. Is that
Prabhuji, sorry, one more question. I'm really bothered by that question. I had been thinking for a long time, some devotees, instead of chanting Hare Krishna or singing some devotional bhajans, we tend to recite Narsinga Kavacha, and at times in certain verses they talk about some material gains like good son, wealth, getting rid of sufferings. What could be our understanding around that?
Yeah. So again, it's the same as what Sujoy was saying. Bhagavatam, if you read, let's say if you read, let's say if you read Narayan Kavach from Bhagavatam, if you read Narayan Kavach, it will say, it will give you so many material benefits. So why is Bhagavatam giving all these material benefits? The same point. Akama sarva kamava, Bhagavatam wants to hook on everyone, whether you are with desires or without desires. The point is this. The Shastric understanding in the Siddhanta is this, that Mukti Devi comes with folded hands in front of a devotee. And Sarupya, Sayujya, all these muktis, 5 kinds of muktis, Sarishti, all these muktis are there ready to serve the devotee. But the devotee rejects them. So, when one reads these mantras either from Bhagavatam or somewhere, and there are so many material benefits, you will get a son, you will get a lots of money or a lot of fame. The devotee may get, yeah, they may get, but they'll reject. Just like if I invite you for lunch, a friend invites you for lunch, and you don't like, suppose you don't like South Indian, and I offer you some roti, sabji, and I offer you some idli and sambar, you will say, oh, no, I'm okay with idli sambar, I don't take, I reject. So it is up to us to reject. So the verses are there for everyone. The Bhagavatam as a Shastra is for everyone in all categories. And the outcome of these prayers, which is available to everyone, devotee just doesn't accept it. Bhagavatam says a devotee doesn't accept mukti. But Bhagavatam also says that Mukti Devi stands in front of a devotee with folded hands. How can I serve you? So how do you reconcile both statements? Very simple. Both are true. Are you following?
Yes, Prabhuji. That's good. Yes. And lastly, Prabhuji, the challenge is, as Grihastha, myself and everybody here, we have so many expectations, plans, and we expect out of that for maintaining family. So it's very difficult to get rid of those expectations. Could you please guide on this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep questions as much as possible aligned to what we are discussing in the Mahatmya session so that we don't drift too far away. But having said that, I'll give you a brief answer. There is dharma that one has to perform. As a householder, there is dharma, and dharma includes protection of family. So one should never try to perform somebody else's dharma. One cannot be a householder and just say, I will be in the temple all day and chant Hare Krishna, or I will only do preaching. That is not a householder's dharma. You have to maintain the family. Otherwise, why you got married in the first place? You have to be responsible. Krishna consciousness is not escapism, running from responsibility. One has to be responsible. But while being responsible, as Rishabdev says, one has to ensure that we give all opportunity to our dependents to become Krishna conscious. That is wife, parents, children, whatever, brother, sister. We are giving them all possible opportunity to become Krishna conscious. Otherwise, it says Guru na sasyat. One cannot be Guru. Mata na sasyat. You cannot be a mother. Pita na sasyat. One cannot be a father. If one does not give the opportunity to the person who is a dependent to become Krishna conscious, then one should not accept any of those positions. Okay. I would like to take, it's 11:20. Should we come back at 11:30, 10 minutes break? Please rise, move around. I think it was a little heavy, but now all the verses are going to be smooth flowing, and I'm going to just keep up the pace. Okay. Thank you. See you in 10 minutes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, so we are back. I think I see that we are losing more and more people as we progress through these sessions. I don't know if that's because devotees are relying on recordings or something else?
I think there are 16 devotees attending, so
Yeah, at one point there was 20,
okay,
28.
I see.
Yeah, so anyway, all for the good. Even if there is one person, that's fine. Okay, so let us continue. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's being shared. Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah. So I just wanted to close off by something important that I want to add to this. We might say that, look, when I joined Krishna consciousness, I had so much faith and I had so much discrimination. Discrimination plus faith, both. Sorry for my handwriting. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So I had both discrimination and I had also faith. But now, as time has passed, because of bad association, because of my own anarthas, because of being just lazy, I have lost my discrimination, and as a result, I've also lost my faith to some degree. And so I am completely aimless, clueless. I don't know what direction I'm going. Many devotees who've been practicing for a good number of years, 5, 10, 15, 20, even up to 50 years, they have these questions in mind. They face this. So Krishna, when he was talking to Arjuna, Arjuna asked a similar question. He said, Ayatihi, somebody who is not a yati, a devotee anymore. Shraddhaya upeta. Upetaha means he had previously got the faith. Previously, he had got the discrimination. Previously, but his faith in discrimination was lost. Yogat chalita manasaha. Why was it lost? Chalita manasaha. Because mind is very difficult to control. So chalita manasaha yogat. This ayatihi, this person, he has chalita manasaha. His mind is very flickery. Aprapya yoga samsiddhim. So he has not attained the goal of yoga. Aprapya yoga samsiddhim. Kam gatim Krishna gacchati. Oh Krishna, kam gatim gacchati. Where will he go? Where will she go? Because she had faith. She had discrimination. Now, because of the flickery mind, chalita manasa, the person has drifted away. What is the destination of this person? And Arjuna says he's really wanting to give an example, drive the point. So he says, I fear that this person, and there are devotees who may feel like this, they are nowhere spiritually because they have lost faith over time or they have lost discrimination. Generally, loss of faith is because of loss of discrimination. And they have also not been materially successful. Because you see, when they were 18, 20, 30, in some case, in some case, even 15-year-old or younger, they came to Krishna consciousness. They spent their prime years in Krishna consciousness. And now they are maybe in their 40s or 50s or 60s, 70s, and they're thinking, oh, I lack so much faith. I don't think this is working for me. But I have also not been materially successful. So spiritually not successful, materially also I'm nobody, nowhere. So this exact question he's asking. Kaschin no bhaya vibrashtash. Kaschin na ubhaya vibrashtah. Ubhaya means both. Both, what is both? Spiritual and material. Is it not, Krishna? Arjuna is asking. Is it not, Krishna, that this person, vibrashtah, is actually destroyed spiritually and he's destroyed materially? So he's like double unsuccessful. At least those who are not spiritual, they did some level of material success. They got. This person was spiritual, has now lost faith as a result of losing discrimination. Is this person now got any hope? And to give an example, he says, Chinna Brahm Ivanashyati. He says that when there are many, many clouds, there are many, many clouds together. The formation of clouds, there's many clouds together, they move together. You might have seen sometimes in the sky, the clouds are all moving together. Sometimes what happens is one stray cloud gets left behind. And a single cloud doesn't last very long. The single cloud will diffuse and it will just disappear. So it will die or disappear. So he's giving this example. Chinna Abram. Abram means cloud. Chinna means it is cut. Means separated. Iva Nashyati. Will it not die? Will it not be destroyed? This person, when he is separated from spiritual life, his life is like useless. Spiritually useless, materially useless. Apratishto. He has nowhere to go. He has no pratishtha here means position. He has no position spiritually, he has no position materially. Mahabaho, oh mighty armed one, O Krishna. Vimudho, Brahmana, Pathi. Because he has become Vimudha, he has become stupid, foolish. Brahmana Pathi. On the path of Brahman, on the path of Krishna consciousness, he has become a fool. Foolishly, he has given up that path of Krishna consciousness. So, what is the hope of this person? Just see, the words are so beautiful. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Bhagavan is answering. Now, if Bhagavan is answering, that is the ultimate reality. He's saying, Partha, O son of Pritha, Naiveha Namutra, Na Eva Eva Iha. Iha means here, Amutra means next life. Listen carefully. Neither here nor in the next life, what happens? Vinashastasya vidyate. There is any cause of fear of destruction. Neither in this life is the person destroyed, nor in the future life is the person destroyed. Suppose the person stops practicing Krishna consciousness at some point in his life when he's 60 and he runs away with a girlfriend who is 16, which is illegal, maybe 18, and he cons devotees and takes away millions of pounds. So these people and then goes into some bad habits of drugs. So you might say, oh my God, this person is just finished. Or the person just gives up Krishna consciousness and becomes a recluse and just like lives on, I don't know, on social services and doesn't do anything, goes back to old habits. This is somebody who grossly kind of misuses his position and power. But then an ordinary devotee at 60 might, oh, I don't have any faith left because I've lost discrimination. Actually, they may not realize, but actually their faith is not there because their discrimination is lost. And discrimination is lost because they have lost touch with the Shastra. And they have lost touch with the Shastra because they have not ever realized the real importance of being connected with the Shastra in the first place. So, such a person is destroyed? No. Krishna says, neither here in this life, even though that person is doing all kinds of bad things, terrible things, nor in the next life. This is the good news. This is the great news. Once performed bhakti, stays forever. Vinashastasya vidyate, na vidyate. Na, you have to read this word na with this word vidyate. Na vidyate. Double na. Neither here nor in the next life, vinashas vidyate. Nahi kalyana krit kaschid. This bhakti is kalyana krit. This is bhakti. This bhakti gives you ultimate auspiciousness. Nahi kalyana krit kaschid. Anyone who has performed this bhakti, durgatim tata gacchati, my dear tata, durgatim gacchati na. The person who has performed any degree of bhakti, even a little bit of bhakti, will never have any durgati, will never have any destination which is durgati, which means bad destination. So Krishna says, it will not be like this riven cloud, which is separated from the group of clouds and which dies on its own. That's not the situation of a fallen down yogi, a fallen down practitioner, a practitioner who is drifted away, a practitioner who is only coming to temple but not following anything anymore. Still, there is hope, Krishna says. Because whatever degree of bhakti one has performed, if this is pure devotional service, and started at almost nothing, and one may reach here, wherever you have reached, before falling down. Your starting point again will be there. So Krishna gives that also. He says, Purva abhyasena tenaiva, because previous abhyas was there. Abhyas means habit, practice. It's called abhyas. Because of the previous practice, because of the previous habit, riyate hi avashopi saha. Riyate, his mind will come and be attracted because of his previous practice. Riyate, it will be attracted. Avashaha, without any choice. His mind will be attracted back. So Krishna actually between these verses 40 and 44, he says, if the person dies also, he will be born in either a devotee family or a wealthy family or a family of yogis. And that person without any avasha meaning without any control, naturally, he will be naturally again attracted to Krishna consciousness in his next life. But this could also happen in this life. Jidnasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. You see, one has to develop jidnasa again. One has to develop somehow the curiosity again. See, when one comes to Krishna consciousness, they have a lot of curiosity, jidnyasa. That curiosity is killed because they think everything is now clear. I know everything about everything, which is not true. Jidnyasa of seva, jidnyasa of naam, jidnyasa of more lila, all this jidnyasa has to be there. So if one works on one's jidnyasa, then one will be uncontrollably attracted and will be back on the path. And where will one start? Wherever they were previously, that's where they start from. This is the beauty of bhakti. You will not start from zero. Unlike yoga, unlike jnana, unlike tapa, suppose you did tapasya and some menaka came and danced in front of you and you broke your tapasya, tapasya has become zero. You start from zero again. But that is not the case. Like with Vishwamitra and Menaka, that is not the case with bhakti. So one has to be extremely happy and positive rather than dwelling on the negative. One has to work towards the positive rather than thinking of what you are or where you are. If you're not in the right place, you have to think of where you want to be and act. Before acting, you have to reflect. Before reflecting, you have to accept. And with acceptance, there should be a desire. Desire to improve. You know what is negativity? According to Shastra, negativity means acceptance with no desire to improve. That's negativity. If one says, oh, I'm just so fallen, I'm just, somehow I fell into this trap and now I cannot give up watching football. Even if there is no games, I just keep watching football every day and I play video games every day. Oh, I've lost it. Then one is only thinking negative, means one is not putting any brain power on thinking, how do I come out of it? This is negativity. So one has to act by reflecting and then acting. We can all do that. And I want to give you the strength on the basis of Krishna's words. Hriyate hi avashopi saha. Just try. Krishna is saying, Bhagavan is saying himself, avashohi saha. Avashopi saha. You will naturally be attracted to bhakti again. You just try to revive it. Revive it with some curiosity. And it will work. Okay, we'll now focus on back to our topic. Okay, so what we were discussing, Narad Muni. Narad Muni is the way there's something is wrong in the Chakravarti. Yeah, so Narad Muni, we discussed about Narad Muni. So Narad Muni is now continuing with his discussion, and he is telling Bhakti Devi, Kalina Sadrisha Kopi Yugo Nasti Varanane. There is no yuga as good as this Kali Yuga. Yugo Nasti. Varanane means, oh, beautiful faced lady. Tasmin Stvam Sthapayishyami. I will establish you Gehe Gehe Jane Jane in every house, in every person's heart. This is the proclamation of Narad Muni. This is what a preacher does. Many years back in Back to Godhead magazine, there was a comparison between Narada Muni and Srila Prabhupada. How Srila Prabhupada also had the same mood to give bhakti to everyone in every town and village. and how Mahaprabhu Chaitanya, he had the same mood. So here he says, Tasmin Stvam Sthapayishyami, I will establish you, Gehe Gehe, Jane Jane, in every home, in heart of every person. And then Narad Muni says, Na tapobhir, na vedaischa, not through tapasya, not through the Vedas, na jnane karmana, not through jnana and not through karma. Harir hi sadhyate bhaktya. Hari is only attained through bhakti. But now you all know when I say no jnana, I mean what kind of jnana I mean. When I say no karma, what kind of karma I mean? I mean the karma which is nitya naimittika karma performed by the smartas, jnana, I mean Brahma jnana, not Bhagavatam. By karma, I don't mean doing seva at temple. So, na tapobhir, tapa is vairagya. Na tapobhir na vedaischa, na jnanenapi karmana. Not through these means is Hari satisfied. Harir hi sadhyate bhaktya. But only through bhakti is Hari sadhyate, attained. Hari is attained only through bhakti, no other way. Pramanam tatra gopika. Pramanam means example. Who is the example of that? Gopika. The gopis are the example. They did not perform anything. They did not perform tapa. They did not go and learn the Vedas. They did not do some Brahmadnan. They did not do some Karmakand. But they simply loved Krishna only through love. Bhakti means love. Narad then glorified Bhakti and her supremacy. And he said those who go against Bhakti actually suffer. Durvasa, for example, during Amrish Maharaj's episode, Durvasa Muni suffered so much because he went against the Bhakti of Amrish. Actually, when we are going against some devotee, it could be a person within our own home, within our friends group, within the wider temple community, within the international community of devotees, or even devotees of other sampradayas. When we go against them, what we are actually going against is also the bhakti which is there in them. And that comes and bites us. So Bhakti became pushed after hearing all this. She became nourished. She felt good. With all her limbs, she became nourished. Bhakti then told Narad Muni, Krupaluna Tvaya Sadho, O Sadhu, by you, Madbadha Dvamsita Kshanat, in one moment you have cut through, you have destroyed Dvamsita, Madbadha, my problem. Badha means problem. Madbhata means my problem. My problem you destroyed in a moment. Kripaluna, because you are so kripalu, you are so compassionate. Putrayos chetana nasti, but I can see my sons still don't have consciousness. They are not conscious. Tato bodhaya bodhaya. Please revive them, revive them. Bodhaya, bodhaya, revive them. Bhakti Devi is telling Narad Muni. So with all the descriptions and everything he gave, we took a digression by going into Bhagavatam to understand this jnana, karma, and vairagya. But here, as he was giving the history of Bhakti Devi through the explanation, and by telling Bhakti Devi to meditate on Krishna and to serve Krishna and to serve the devotees, Bhakti Devi was revived. However, we saw that jnana and vairagya were still not revived. So Bhakti Devi is saying, and Narad Muni is giving the solution. Narada is now saying, He called out in the ears of Jnana and Vairagya. He went to the ear of Jnana and he said, Jnana. Oh, you can still see it? Yeah. He said, Jnana prabudhyatam shigram. Please revive quickly. Vre Vairagya. Oh, Vairagya. Prabudhyatam. Revive. He just went to their ears and he loudly said, come on, wake up. But Narada was dejected. Nothing, no response. Unconscious. Two old men in the lap of Bhakti Devi, still unconscious. Narada Muni was dejected. Kim videyam maya? What shall I do? At that point, there was an oracle. An oracle is a sound from the sky. And the oracle said, Rishi, O great sage, ma khidyatam. Please do not be sad. Do not worry. There will be sadhus who will come to help you. Ask them this question of how to revive Jnana and Vairagya, and they will help you. So Narada Muni wonders, now, okay, the oracle is saying that sadhus will come and help, but where do I find these sadhus? Kva bhavishyanti santaste. Where are these sant? Where are these sadhus to be found? Kva, where? Katham dasyanti sadhanam. And how will they give me some sadhana, some means of reviving these two? How will they give me those means? Is it some potion? Is it some medication? Is it some mantra? Is it some, what is it? Or is it, they will ask me to stay in one place, which I cannot because I cannot stay in one place. Narada Muni doesn't stay in one place more than the time it takes to milk a cow, which is about 20 minutes. Narada Muni doesn't stay in one place more than 20 minutes. Mayatra kim prakartavyam. What should I do now? It's just the oracle saying that, okay, you will find some sadhus who will help you, but what should I do now? Yaduktam vyoma bhashaya. What should I do based on what the sky spoke? Vyoma means sky, that's the oracle. So Narada ran around from one place to another, trying to get advice from so many people, so many rishis, so many saints. And nothing worked out. He thought, okay, let me go back. I'm going to chant Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas in the ears of Jnana and Vairagya. He started chanting Bhagavad Gita and Vedas. But nothing. No response still. Being completely distressed, Narad Muni reached Vishala in Badrikashram. Badrikashram is in the Himalayas. And there he saw Sanaka and his three brothers. And when he saw the four Kumaras, he started glorifying them. Sada Vaikuntha Nilaya. You are always in Vaikuntha consciousness. Actually also means you always live in Vaikuntha. Hari Kirtana Tatpara. You are constantly performing Hari Kirtan. That means chanting the names of Hari and also chanting the glories of Hari. Kirtana means glories. Hari Kirtan doesn't mean just the Hari Nam Kirtan. Nam Sankirtan is one thing, Nama Kirtan is one thing, Leela Kirtan is also Kirtan. So Hari Kirtana Tatpara, devoted to Kirtan. Leela Amrita Rasonmatta. What kind of Kirtan they are doing? Leela, pastimes, Amrita, nectar, Rasa, the essence, the juice that is being extracted from the nectar of pastimes. Unmattaha. They are completely mad. What kind of madness? Just like a honeybee is maddened by sucking honey from the flower, the bee feels maddened. Katha matraika jivinaha. Their jivan, their life is just katha. What is the meaning? There are 4 of them. They are always traveling together. So what they do while they travel? One speaks Harikatha, the other 3 sit and listen. After he is spoken enough, he goes in the audience, and the next one speaks, and the other 3 listen. After he is done, the next one speaks, and he goes in the audience. Same, after the 3rd one has finished speaking, the 4th one goes, speaks, and 3rd one goes in the audience. So you see, they are all just rotating between the 4 of them and constantly doing Harikatha. Katha matra eka jivinaha. Jivinaha means eka jivinaha. The only means of livelihood for them is katha. They eat katha, they think katha, they dance katha, they everything katha. Sleep katha, just katha. Their life is katha. They don't eat, they don't sleep. There's no other activity. And they are 5 years old, they don't even wear clothes. And they are 5 years old, so they feel no attraction for the opposite sex. And nobody feels unusual attraction for them. This is the 4 Kumaras. This way, Narad Muni is glorifying the Kumaras. What are the words in the mouth? Sometimes when they are traveling, when they're not sitting in one place and doing the katha, when they are traveling, what do they say? Hari Sharanam Evahi Nityam Yesham Mukhe Vacha Mukhe Vachaha. These words are on their mouth always. What words? These 2 words. Hari Sharanam. So they are all saying Hari Sharanam, Hari Sharanam, Shri Hari Sharanam, Hari Sharanam, Hari Sharanam. That's all they are saying. I take shelter of Hari. I take shelter of Hari. When traveling, they're just saying Hari Sharanam, Hari Sharanam. Ataha Kala Samadishta. Because of this, that which is ordained by time. What is ordained by time? Jara. Jara means old age. Time pushes old age on everyone, all living entities, all things, in fact, not even living entities. Even buildings become old and fragile and fall apart, even material objects. So, Kala Samadishta Jara Yushman Badhate does not bind you because you are not in the purview of time. Why you are not in the purview of time? Because you are constantly in remembrance of Hari. So just understand this. You have the world, and in the world there is time. And then you have Vaikuntha. Let's just say spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there is no time. These 4 Kumaras, they may be in the world, but because they are constantly absorbed, constantly, when I say, there is no eating, there's no sleeping, there's no doing anything but thinking and speaking of Hari. Not even growing, their bodies don't even grow. They are eternally 5-year-old. So, because of the Hari Leela, Hari Katha Matreka Jivina, although their bodies may be in this world, they as personalities are in the spiritual world, and hence there is no effect of time on them. That's what Narad Muni is saying. Jara Yushman na badate. Old age does not affect you. Asharira giroktam yat. Now he's asking the question. Asharira. This oracle from the sky, which has no body, it is impersonal, right? If you hear the thunder from the sky, you know, somebody asks you which cloud, which particular atom produced this thunder. Well, it doesn't work like that. It's somewhere in the sky. So asharira, there is no body. Asharira giroktam yat, the word spoken from this oracle, tat kim sadhanamuchyatam. Please explain the solution. Anushteyam katham tavat, and how do I follow it? The solution that you give me, how do I follow through? Like somebody gives you a medication, but then next question is, what do I do? Do I eat it all in one go? Do I eat it 3 times a day? Do I eat it once a day? Before meal, after a meal? I mean, there is anushtana, means the method. Solution is one thing, but what's the method of adopting the solution? So, asharira giroktam yat tat kim sadhanamuchyatam. Give me the solution. Anushteyam katham. And how do I follow it? What is the method? Tavat prabhruvantu savistaram. Please explain to me in detail. Bhakti jnana viraganam sukham utpadyate katham. How will I produce happiness? Sukham utpadyate. How will I produce? Bhakti jnana viraganam. For these three, bhakti, jnana, and vairagya, how will I produce happiness in them? Sthapanam sarva varneshu. And finally, how will I establish this solution in all the varnas? Doesn't matter whether you're Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Prema purvam prayatnataha. I want to establish it with love and with some effort. Prema purvam prayatnataha. Kumaras then reply to Narad Muni. Satkarma suchako nunam. We are telling you now a satkarma. Jnana yadna smruto budhai. That satkarma will work. What is that satkarma? It is jnana yadna that you have to perform. Again, bear in mind, here the jnana is what kind of jnana? This jnana is bhakti. The same jnana which is produced from bhakti, that jnana. That knowledge which helps one connect with Krishna, that itself is bhakti itself. Just like you cannot say the mother is separated from the children. So the bhakti, jnana, and vairagya is one thing. You cannot say that jnana is independent of bhakti if it is bhakti jnana. You cannot say vairagya is independent of bhakti. So this jnana yajna, smruto budhai, by great souls, this has been thought of as the solution for reviving jnana and vairagya. What is that? Jnana yajna. Srimad Bhagavata alapa. Please recite Srimad Bhagavatam alapaha loudly for the masses. Satu Gita Shukadibi. This was sung by Shukdev and others. By Shukdev and others, this Bhagavatam has been sung. Kumaras then tell Narad Muni, Bhakti Jnana Viraganam Tad Ghoshena Balam Mahat. Bhakti Jnana and Viraga will attain bala, strength. Mahat, great strength. Tad Ghoshena, by you reciting this Bhagavatam. Vrajishyati dvayo kashtam, and their kashta, dvayo of those two, kashta means difficulty. Sukham bhakter bhavishyati, their difficulty, vrajishyati, will go away. And happiness will come to bhakti. So please perform this jnana yajna of loud recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Kumaras tell Narada, Pralayam hi gamishyanti Srimad Bhagavata Dhvane. When Bhagavatam's words are spoken, Dhvani, then Pralayam Gamishyati, then finished. What is finished? Kaler dosha ime sarve. All the faults of Kali Yuga are finished. Like what? Simha shabdad vrika iva. Like the wolves run away when the lion roars. Similarly, when the Srimad Bhagavatam roars, the wolves of Kali dosha run away. Maharaj, they tell Narada, Jnana Vairagya Samyukta Bhakti Prema Rasavaha. This bhakti, which is Prema Rasa, transformation of love, let it flow. But this bhakti is Jnana Vairagya Samyukta. Bhakti which is embellished with Jnana and Vairagya. Let it flow. Prati Geham Prati Janam. Let it flow in every house, in every person. Tata Kridam Karishyati. It will let it dance in every house and in every person's heart. Veda Vedanta Goshaicha Gita Pathair Prabodhitam. You try to awaken this Jnana Vairagya with Veda, Vedanta, Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and all other scriptures. Bhakti Jnana Viraganam Nodatishtat Trikam Yada. No. Some clarification. Narad Muni is now asking question to Kumaras. He is saying, I already tried. You are asking me to recite the Srimad Bhagavatam, but I already spoke the Vedas, the Vedanta, the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, Ramayana. I spoke everything in the years of these Jnana and Vairagya. But na udatishtat, they did not wake up. Trikam yada. If these three are still feeling low by chanting Veda, Vedanta, and Gita, Srimad Bhagavata Alapat, by loudly chanting this Srimad Bhagavatam, Tat Katham Bodham Eshyati, how will they wake up? Tat Kathasu tu Vedartha. The reason I'm asking is this Bhagavatam is nothing but the essence of the Vedas. Shloke, shloke, pade, pade. In every verse, in every half a verse, in every quarter of a verse, Bhagavatam is nothing but the meaning of the Vedas. So if the Vedas themselves could not revive them, how will Bhagavatam revive them? He's asking a very logical question. Kumara's answer. Three answers Kumaras give. First, the Kumara says, Amulagram rasasthishtam. In a mango tree, if I draw the roots here, then the juice of mango, what is the juice of sweetness of mango, is there amula from the roots all the way to the mango, the branches, the leaves, everywhere. This juice is there. Amulagram rasastishtan astena khadyate yatha. There is juice everywhere, but you don't eat the roots of a mango tree. You don't eat the branch of the mango tree. You don't eat the bark of the mango tree. You don't eat the leaves of the mango tree. You don't eat the twig of the mango tree. Sa bhuyah samprathak bhuta. But phale vishwa manohara. But the fruit, when it is separated and eaten, has the sweetness which is otherwise there in the entire mango tree. It's circulating in the whole mango tree. And yet, the fruit in itself is samprithak bhutaha. When it is separated, when it is ripe, vishwam manohara, it steals everyone's mind, the fruit. So similarly, although the Vedas are like the roots and the Upanishads and other things are like the trunk and branches, I mean, the whole tree is described in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also. That is just the Chandamasi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavit. So the leaves are the chandas, etc. But still, it is the fruit which is the sweetest. So you cannot substitute the tree for the fruits. That's what they're trying to say. And Bhagavatam is the fruit. The fruit cannot be substituted for the other parts of the tree. You cannot say, I don't have mango, so I did not make mango Shrikand. I made mango bark Shrikand or mango tree branch Shrikand. That will not work. Or mango leaves Shrikand. So this is first answer. Then they say, Yathad Yathadugde sthitam sarpi. Just like in the milk, there is ghee always. It's not like the ghee is not in the milk. Sarpihi. Sarpihi means ghee. This Sanskrit is a very descriptive language. So when you take the ghee, when you try to pour the ghee actually, I don't know if you ever tried to pour ghee from one container to another. The ghee pours out long and then short distance, then long distance, then short distance, because it's quite got a thick consistency. So it pours like that. So if it pours on the floor like that, it will produce a pattern like this. And because it will produce that kind of pattern, which is like that of a sarpa. Sarpa means snake. The Latin word serpentus is coming from sarpa, which means snake. So because it is looking like a snake when you pour it, the ghee is also another name of ghee is also sarpi. Okay. So it's not nothing to do with snake here in this verse. Yatha dugde sthitam sarpi. Just like ghee is situated in the milk, na swadayopakalpate, but you cannot taste it in the milk. Prithag bhutam, but when it is prithag, when it is separated from the milk, etad gavyam, then it becomes offerable. Offerable to who? Devanam rasavardhanam. It is offered in the yagya. Om idam indraya idam namama swaha. So you're doing this. You're offering milk. You might say, oh, why we should bother getting ghee? Just bring buckets of milk and offer in the yagya. No, it will not work. You have to offer ghee to please the devatas. Then you might say, but ghee is already there in the milk, isn't it? It is, and still it's the ghee which is important. Such beautiful answer. Then they say, third answer, ikshunam api madhyantam. If you take a sugar cane, if you are looking at a sugar cane, the sugar cane in the middle and in the bottom, everywhere the sugar cane is, sharkara vyapya tishtanti, there is sweetness everywhere. Sharkara. The English word sugar comes from Sanskrit word sharkar. Sharkar means sugar. Sugar is there, the sweetness is there throughout. Prithak bhuta, but still if you separate the sweetness, chasamishta, and you make sugar out of it, ishta, tatha bhagavati katha. Now they give the conclusion. Similarly is Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Katha. Idam Bhagavatam Nama. This scripture named Bhagavatam. Puranam Brahma Sammitam. This Purana is actually equal to Brahma. Brahma here means Veda. Veda Sammitam. Even in Bhagavatam it says, Puranam Brahma Sammitam. It's the same as Veda, no difference. Bhakti Jnana Viraganam Sthapanaya Prakashitam. Bhagavatam has been established, Prakashitam has been manifested, Sthapanaya for establishing Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya. If one wants to have all three, Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya, one should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Kumaras then tell Narada, you taught the 4 verses to your disciple Vyas in the beginning. Tada tvaya purapoktam proktam chatushloka samanvitam. The 4 chatushloki Bhagavatam that you received from your father Brahma and that Brahma received directly in his heart from Krishna. Tene brahmaridaya adi kavaye muyyanti yat surayah. Brahma received Bhagavatam in his heart from Krishna directly. First verse of Bhagavatam says, Tene brahmarida adi kavaye. Adi Kavi, Brahma received the Vedas, the Bhagavatam also, directly in his heart. Hida, through the heart. So he's saying the same 4 verses you gave to Vyas, and then Vyas made those 4 expanded into, through his samadhi, he expanded into the current form of Bhagavatam. Tada tvaya pura proktam, you already know that. Chatushloka samanvitam, why therefore should you be surprised? Asking. Narada is telling the Kumaras, Bhagyodayena bahujanma samarjitena Bhagyodayena bahujanma samarjitena. When one has Bhagyoday, true Bhagyoday, when one's fortune arises, bahujanma samarjitena, after many, many births, when one's good fortune arises, satsangam cha labhate purusho yada vai, then that person will get some satsanga. Sangha is not available so cheaply. There are so many people, millions and millions, even so many millions who practice Krishna consciousness. But how many get satsanga? Very few. This satsanga is not easy to attain. Satsangam cha labhate purusho yada vai ajnana hetu kritamoha madandhakara nashanam vidhayahi tadodayate viveka. So that satsang does what? Nashanam, it destroys. Andhakara, the darkness, the blindness, mohamada, of illusion and delusion, ajnana hetu krita, which is produced out of ignorance. So the satsanga destroys the darkness, which is due to illusion and delusion, which is caused by ignorance. Beautiful sentence. Vidhaya hi tada udayate vivekaha. And then what happens? One can give rise to correct discrimination. Such an important point, huh? Because if your discrimination is born through satsanga, then you will get rid of all the other anarthas. It's the discrimination that has to come. You know, the issue that we have generally is that we do not discriminate correctly. And why? Because we do not know how to discriminate. Why? Because we have not sufficiently taken association and shelter of those who are sadhus, those who are firm in their understanding of Shastra. This is so important. It's saying here directly. Sat Satsanga, and why we are not taking that Satsanga? This question is also answered. Bahu Janma Samarjitena. Sorry, it will take many, many births to develop that liking for such Satsanga. Otherwise, we can go to Satsanga. Satsanga means what? Retreats, classes, seminars, courses, online, offline, classroom courses. It's all Satsanga. But what do we do there? Half the time, our attention is not there. The remaining of the time, we are only thinking, when will this finish? So better not attend, because we have wasted our time materially, completely, and nothing else we have gained. Is it true? No. You should still attend. Why? Because if you persevere, then someday there will be Bhagyodaya. Your good fortune will arise. Through your perseverance, the good fortune will arise. Bhagyodayena bahujanma samarjitena. For many births, if you try doing it, then one day the good fortune will arise. If you don't try, you stop, then good fortune will never arise. It's like saying, I want to learn how to drive a bicycle. And I tried first day, too difficult. Second day, too difficult. Then I tried after 1 week, too difficult. Then I tried after 1 year, too difficult. Then I tried after 10 years, too difficult. You will never progress. But if you do 1 day, 2 day, 3, 4, 5, every day, you keep trying, then your good fortune will arise very quickly. And here it says, Bahu Janma Samarjitena. Samarjita means you tried for many years. Not many years, sorry. This verse says for many births if you tried. So you should know, anyone who has attraction for satsanga, that person has tried this for many years. Not many years, many births. It's Purva Janma, samskara. And then it has fructified. If you are having attraction for satsanga, it has come after many births. So one must keep doing, even if one does not have attraction, because you know that is the right thing to do. Narada then prepared to perform the Jnana Yajna, the Bhagavata Yajna, which the Kumaras had advised him to perform for reviving the 2 old men, Jnana and Vairagya, who were lying unconscious on the lap of this beautiful lady, Bhakti Devi. So the next chapter, Narada is asking the Kumaras, where should I perform this Jnana Yajna? And what are the glories of this Bhagavatam? And how many days should the Katha be heard? What is the procedure for hearing the Katha? So the Kumaras tell Narada, first of all, go to the right place. See, even the ancient time, they could have just started speaking Katha where they met. But they don't speak. They say, go to a place. Actually, I'm not giving all the verses, otherwise the course will be very long. But in response, actually, the Kumaras are telling Narad Muni, go to a place where there is no distraction. This is what the response is. And such a place is a place called Ananda, which is on the bank of Ganga in Haridwar, which is also known as Gangadwar. because Ganga starts flowing in the plain, the huge Gangetic plain, they say. It flows from Haridwar. And he says it's beautiful place, serene, with many rishis staying there. So this is where you have the Haridwar. This is Ganga flowing in Haridwar. Beautiful Ganga. And they have this Ganga Aarti that they do in Haridwar. It's a beautiful place. So Kumara said, you go there first. And they said, Kumara Uchuhu Yatra Bhagavati Varta Tatra Bhaktyadikam Vrajet. Wherever there will be Bhagavati Varta, wherever there will be Bhagavata, Bhakti and others, Jnana Vairagya, will automatically come running there. So you don't have to go to where Jnana and Vairagya are in Vrindavan. Bhakti Devi was in Vrindavan with the two on her lap. They are saying you don't go to Vrindavan, you just go to this Ananda, which is in Haridwar, and there start Bhagavad Katha. As soon as you start Bhagavad Katha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya will come there. Katha Shabdam Samakarnya, having heard the Katha, Tatrikam Tarunayate, those three will become youthful. This is the power of Bhagavad Katha. Kumaras, they hastily accompanied Narad and said, come, we will come with you. And they arrived at the bank of Ganga, at Gangadwar, which is also known as Haridwar, in place called as Ananda. Because, this Bhagavatam has to be spoken with some decor. Even when we go to like the courtroom, the lawyer also wears a certain kind of dress. The judge wears a certain kind of dress. There's a certain mannerism. There is a certain decor. So there is some decorum for Bhagavatam also. It's not some cheap thing. You can lie on your bed and snooze and eat your crisps and listen to Bhagavatam. This is not listening. It will not go in. It will not go in. And it will have little effect. Actually, what you are doing, what one is doing, when one is, because if you read the commentaries in these sections, it's evident from the commentaries. The idea is this, that inattention signifies non-importance. Because if somebody puts it's a very hypothetical kind of a thought experiment. If somebody puts a gun on your head and says, I'm going to say 5 numbers, and I want you to repeat those numbers after 10 minutes in the same order. And if you are wrong, you'll be dead. I'll shoot you in the head. Something like this. It's only like a mental experiment if you do it. What do you think? Those 5 numbers will become so important, you will so attentively hear those 5 numbers. So the idea is, when there is importance associated with something, attention will flow. Your energy flows, your attention flows when there is importance of something. So Shastras just say, if there is inattention, the root cause is not realizing the importance enough, non-importance. And when it becomes non-important and inattentive, the effect will be negligible. So there will be some effect, it will be negligible. Unfortunately. It's very simple. Inattention means not full investment. So let's say your investment should have been £100, expected 100%, £100. But let's say you put only £5, then the outcome will also be proportionate to £5. You can't buy more than you pay for. You pay inattention, you reap also the same. Very negligible effect. That's why time, place, situation is important when one gives attention to Bhagavatam. And believe me, try to understand this very clearly. Again and again, it is said, Bhagavatam is Krishna. It does not even say Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna like this. It says Bhagavatam is Krishna. So you are inattentive to Krishna, okay, and you want Krishna Bhakti, it just doesn't add up. It just does not add up. I want to love a person, but I can completely ignore that person when the person is in front of me. I mean, that just does not add up. So it's very simple. One has to be fully there with one's best ability. And this is exactly what they did. They went to Ananda on an auspicious time, auspicious day, and with auspicious presence of the Kumaras and Narad Muni. The Bhagavatam recitation was started. Srimad Bhagavata Piyusha, the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. Panaya, to drink that nectar. Rasa Lampata, those who are drunkards for that nectar. You see, if there is some drugs available somewhere, the drug addicts somehow find out and they go there. If there is alcohol available somewhere, in some pub or some place, those who love alcohol, they find out, they go there. In airports and other places, if there is a designated smoking area, the smokers somehow find out that area and they go there. Similarly, when Bhagavatam was being recited, those who have the rasa for Bhagavatam, those who have the taste for Bhagavatam, panaya, to drink rasapana of Bhagavatam, piyusha, the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam, dhavantopi ayayu sarve, dhavantopi ayayu, they came running there. Not that they came there on their own time. Some came early, some came late, some only came for the last 5 minutes. No, they came running. Just see what is being said in the Shastra. They were so anxious, so anticipating, that the moment they heard or they understood that Bhagavatam may be spoken there, they came running. Prathamam ye cha Vaishnavaha. Those who are Vaishnavas, they came first. Others may have also come. From this we know that those who were not pure Vaishnavas also may have come. Akam, Sarvakama, Va, Mokshakam, Udardhi, everyone might have come. But Prathamam Yecha Vaishnava, first those who are Vaishnavas, they came running. This is also a litmus test of a Vaishnava. Where there is pure Bhagavad Katha, they cannot resist. They have to be there. Who came? All the rishis came. Bhrigu, Vasishtha, Chavana, Gautama, Medatithi, Devala, Devarata, Rama, Gadhisuta, which is Vishwamitra, Markandeya, Pipalada, Vyas, Parashara, Chayashuka, Jajali, Janumuni, with his sons, disciples, wives, they all came. They all came. Then who came? Upanishads came, personified. The mantras section of the Vedas themselves, the 17 Puranas came. The Shad Darshanas, they came. All the holy rivers came, all the Tirthas came, all the 4 directions came. All the forests, the mountain, the demigods, the Gandharvas, the demons also came. The rishis, the demigods, the Vedas and the Upanishads, and the ladies, these 5 categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they were seated in different groups. Na Nagadayo Yayustatra. Naga means mountain. See, Sanskrit is such a beautiful language. Na means not. Ga means to go. The English word go comes from Sanskrit ga, which means to go. Naga means not go. That which cannot go anywhere. What is that thing? A mountain. Mountain cannot go anywhere. It will always remain there. So Naga. Nagadayo Yayustatra. The mountains came there. Now there is a oxymoron here. Those which cannot go anywhere, they also went there. So Nagadayo Yayustatra Deva Gandharva Danava. Devas came, Gandharvas came, but Dhanavas also came. Gurutva Tatra Nayatan. Those who did not come, Tatra Na Ayatan. Briguhu Gurutvat, because Brigu was the guru of everyone. Sambodhya Cha Anayat. He personally went and called them. So you can see here, not only those who are serious are running for the Bhagavatam, to hear the Bhagavatam, those who are not so serious are being inspired by those who are serious and being pulled to attend. Literally it says this. Bhrigu Sambodhya Cha Anayat. Bhrigu called them personally and he is the guru. So he is such a senior person, but he personally called, please come for this Bhagavatam recitation, listening. Eka Bhage Rishigana, in one place. So the speaker was set in the middle, in one place. In olden days, this is the method. The rishis sat in one place. Tadanyatra Divaukasa. In another place, the demigods sat. Vedo Parishado Nyatra. The Vedas and Upanishads sat in another place. Tirthanyatra Striyonyatra. Then Tirthas sat another place, and all the ladies of all of these women, they sat together. So, you know, this whole idea of men and women sitting separately, it's traditional. You can see here. So, unlike in some so-called religions where women are not allowed, women are very much allowed, but the women sit with the women, folks. And you might say, oh, that is why. Why not? Why discriminate? It's not discrimination. Men cannot participate in women's sport. Is that discrimination against men? It's not. We cannot just have these logical fallacies applied blankly across everything that we do. The idea behind this is our focus is on Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a transcendental literature. We don't want the opposite sex to be, distracted in any way whatsoever. So even though there are rishis, there are demigods, the men are in one place, the women are in another place, both are listening. So there is no discrimination. Discrimination would have been if women were not allowed or men were not allowed, then discrimination. That's not what it is saying. It is saying they were all in their own categories. In fact, not only the women were separate from the men, but it says the different categories of listeners were also separate. The Rishi Ganas, sages, all sat together. Those who are demigods all sat together. All the Shastras, they sat together, all the Tirthas sat together, and the ladies sat together. So there's no discrimination. Then the Kumaras started speaking. Atha te varnyate smabhi mahima shukha shastraja. Now we shall start telling you the glories of this Srimad Bhagavatam. See, again, this is very traditional. When the Kumaras are starting speaking Bhagavatam, they are not starting with first verse of Bhagavatam. They are first making everyone understand the importance. Importance is, which is what we are doing with Soho Street. What we are doing here is going through Mahatmya, means the importance. Sorry, I missed a letter. Importance. So we are studying the importance, which is important, which is required, because unless you understand the importance, the mahima, which is importance, there is no reason for us to be listening to Bhagavatam. So there are so many of us who distribute Bhagavatam. So many of us who distribute Prabhupada's books. Excellent, and we should do it. We must do more and more of it. But also read them. Also read Bhagavatam. And also directly preach Bhagavatam. Also directly preach from Prabhupada's books. So, athate varnyate smabhi mahima shuka shastraja. Now, I am going to describe, we are going to describe the importance. That's what the Kumara Uchuhu. They spoke in one voice. This is plural, all four, Kumara, plural. All four spoke in one voice. We are now going to describe the glories of Bhagavatam. Yasya Shravana Matrena, simply by hearing the glories of Bhagavatam, Mukti Karatale Sthita. Get this right. Not by listening to Bhagavatam per se, but listening to the glories of Bhagavatam. Mukti Devi appears in your palm, in your hand. Karatale means comes at hand, is yours, is in your possession. You are in possession of liberation. This is what Kumara start with. The very first verse they say is this. Tavat samsara chakresmin brahmate jnanatah puman. Those who out of ignorance go around in this samsara chakra, they are going round. Yavat karanagata nasti. If they have never heard Srimad Bhagavatam, Shuka Shastra Kathakshanam, if they have never heard this Srimad Bhagavatam, they will continue perpetually going round in samsara, round and round, if they have not heard Bhagavatam. This is the importance of Bhagavatam. Kim Shrutai Bahubhi Shastrai. Now somebody may say, oh, they have not heard Bhagavatam, but they heard Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, they heard Mahabharata, they heard Ramayana, they heard Bhagavad Gita, they heard so many things. They heard Ayurveda Shastra, they heard this, what, XYZ they heard. They didn't hear Bhagavatam, they heard other things. Kumara was saying, Kim Shrutai Bahubhi Shastrai. What is the use of hearing so many scriptures? Puranaischa, of hearing so many Puranas. What will they do, if you hear, instead of hearing the essence which is given in Bhagavatam, your mind goes here and there, hearing, oh, I want to now hear Mahabharata. I want to then hear Ramayana. Then I want to hear Vishnu Puran. Then I will read Bhavishya Puran. It predicts the future. Then I will read this, some, I don't know, some kind of Ashtavakra Gitas. So many Gitas are there. Then I will read some other Shastra. What it will do? Here he's saying, Kumar is saying, Brahma avahi. You understand Brahma? Brahma means confusion. By studying so many things, one thing will be guaranteed. You'll be utterly and thoroughly confused. Kim Shrutai Bahubi Shastrai. What is the use of studying so many scriptures? Actually, whatever is there in all these other scriptures, its conclusion, its essence is already there. It is like somebody saying, I love mangoes so much, but let me start by eating the root of the mango tree, and then I will eat the bark, and then I'll eat the trunk, and then I'll eat all the leaves, and then I'll eat all the twigs, and then I'll eat the skin of the mango. Then I will come to the pulp of the mango. You will say, oh, this person is crazy. That's what they are saying. In Kali Yuga, you are trying to do this. Good luck. You will simply be confused. I'm not saying. Here, Kumaras is saying. Kumaras are also in our line, in our Sampradaya. Brahma Vahai. You will simply have Brahma. So what is the solution? Give us the solution. Ekam, one and only. Eka means one. Ekam Bhagavatam Shastram Muktidanena Garjati. This one Shastra is enough to liberate you, to get you out of this samsara. Enough, one Shastra. No need. You never read any Ramayana, Mahabharata, Upanishads, 108 Upanishads, any of the other 17 Puranas, any of the Shat Darshanas. You'd never read Vyakarana, this, that, Ayurveda, Jyotisha. You didn't read any of this. No problem. Purpose is achieved through this one Ekam Bhagavatam Shastra. Ekam Bhagavatam Shastra. Please try to use your discrimination with faith. Kumara continued. Katha Bhagavatasyapi Nityam Bhavati Yadgrihe. In whoever's house, this Bhagavad Katha is going on Nityam, continuously. Tad Griham, that house, Tirtha Rupam Hi, is like a Tirtha. I remember in my house, my grandfather used to read Bhagavatam continuous every day, morning, afternoon, evening. He would go outside for some work, but he would just be absorbed. And many people would come. And they would come and pay obeisances and go. Obeisances to whom? Not to my grandfather. Even when he was not at home, they would come and go. So I asked once, why? Why is this? What is this? Why some strange people are coming? They bow down or they fold their hands with their head down. They say something and they go. Because wherever Bhagavatam is read daily, even by one individual in the house, doesn't have to be every individual of the house. Tat Griham, that entire house, Tirtha Rupam hi, is like Tirtha. Going to that house is like going to a Tirtha. And Vasatam, and those people who live there, Papanashanam, this Bhagavatam reading by even one individual will help destroy the sins of all the residents of the house. It may not happen completely, fully overnight. It will start, the cleaning process will start. Such is the power of Bhagavatam. Kumaras continue. Ashwamedha Sahasrani Vajapaya Shatani Cha. Vajapaya is one of the 7 kind of Soma Yagyas, which are to be performed by kings or great Brahmanas to gain higher position. It's a precursor to Rajasuya Yajna, which Yudhishthir Maharaj performed. So Vajapaya is a big Yajna. So it gives, this Bhagavatam gives fruit of 100 Vajapaya and 1000 Ashwamedha. You know what that means? 1 Ashwamedha, 100 Ashwamedha, 100 Ashwamedha Yajna can give you the position of Indra. So if you do 1000 Ashwamedha Yajna, you can get the position of 10 Indras. 10 Indras. How much is, what will give this? So 1000 Ashwamedha Yajna plus 100 Vajpaya Yajna, Shuka Shastra Kathayascha Kalam Narhanti Shodashim. 1/16 of Srimad Bhagavatam will give you this. 1/16 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are saying, even if you read 3/4 of a canto and understood it, it will give you this much. Tavat papani dehesmin. The sins can only reside in the body as long as nivasanti tapodhana yavan na shruyate samyak. Sins can only reside in the body until one does not properly hear. See, this word is very important. Samyak means properly. Shruyate means hear. Now, we may hear things, but what is proper hearing? That also is a question. So we will answer that question. Yavan na shruyate samyak Srimad Bhagavatam narai. Until a person does not hear Bhagavatam properly, once he hears the Bhagavatam properly, then the Papa karma will start escaping from his body or her body. So how do you hear Bhagavatam properly? Bhagavatam itself answers. Dharma projita kaitavotra. One has to, Bhagavatam kicks off all other kinds of dharma. You see, Bhagavad Gita ends with Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Bhagavatam begins with Dharma Projita Kaitava. Same thing. But Bhagavad Gita finishes, Bhagavatam begins. Dharma Projita Kaitava. There, Bhagavad Gita. Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Same thing. So, one has to give up all kinds of faith in every other thing. This is the precursor of entry into Bhagavatam. If you still have faith in some charms, some, I don't know, people have faith in all kinds of things. Unicorns, I don't know, rainbows, whatever you have faith in. Some silly things or some not so silly things also. Faith in your boss, faith in your whoever, One has to have faith only in Krishna fully. One has to interact with everyone. We live in a civilized society. We will be responsible. We will try and bring everyone closer to Krishna. But our true faith is only in Krishna. Even in the Bible, Jesus says, one cannot have two masters. For if both of them spoke, you will know not whom to follow. Jesus says this in the Bible. So, it's very logical. You can't have Krishna also and I also worship some Devi and then I also worship some other human being and I also worship my boss and I also worship my son and I also worship my uncle and I also worship some stockbroker and also worship the planet Shani and also worship God knows, then your head is everywhere. Your faith is everywhere. Cut down the faith. Have full faith in Krishna and his devotees. When I say Krishna, by extension, his devotees are included. By extension. Because just like, when somebody says king, the king also includes the ministers and the retinue of the king, the soldiers and the kingdom. So we cannot mutually exclude them. They are all inclusive. So, dharma, projita, kaitavotra. All this other thing is kaitava, cheating religion. Projita, kick out. Bhagavatam kicks out all cheating religion. Paramo nirmatsaranam satam. Non-envious. There's another qualification. One has to be non-envious. Vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayo unmulanam. Here in Bhagavatam, Vedyam vastavam vastu. Bhagavatam will teach you the real truth, the real vastu. Shivadam, it will give you auspiciousness. Tapatrayo unmulanam, it will help you get rid of tapatraya. We have three kinds of miseries: adhidaivik, adhibhautik, and adhyatmika. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite. This Bhagavatam was composed by the great Muni Vyasadev. Kimva parai Ishvaraha. Kimva parai. What is greater than this Bhagavatam? Just see the point I made earlier. Bhagavatam itself says, what is greater than this literature? Why do you go anywhere else? In fact, Vyasadev was really dejected and upset about, or rather feeling unfulfilled after composing Mahabharata and the 17 Puranas. He was still feeling vacuum, which is when he prayed and Narad Muni came and gave him the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, and then in Samadhi, Vyasadeva wrote the entire Bhagavatam. Kim va parai Ishvara. Kim va parai. What else is needed than Bhagavatam, this Bhagavatam? Sadhya, why this Bhagavatam is important? Important because Ishvaraha Sadhya Hridi Avaruddhyate Atra. Bhagavan, Ishwar, Krishna himself can be captured. Sadhya, immediately. Hridi, in the heart. Avaruddhyate, captured. Krishna can be immediately in the heart captured. Atra, here, through this literature. See how many times he is saying atra, 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 here in this literature. Atra, 3 times. Now, here is the answer. Kritibihi. But who will actually take shelter of Bhagavatam? Only when many, many lifetimes of pious credits have accumulated together at one point, then the person will take purely shelter of Bhagavatam. And Shushrushubihi. And one will hear Bhagavatam or have a desire to hear Bhagavatam properly. This desire to hear, but the Shushrushubi also means serve. And what is the meaning of serve? Follow. If you serve someone, you follow that person. You can't say, I want to serve such and such Maharaj or something. And that Maharaj says, please get me some cold water with ice. And you say, oh, maybe not such a nice idea. I will give him boiling water instead. And you're not following. So, to serve means to follow. So, how do you shushrusubhi? How do you? It's the same root. Shru means to hear, actually. So, the same root, shushrushu, means also to serve. To hear and to serve, same meaning, same word. So, the reason I went there is because here it says, Yavan na shruyate samyak, until one has not properly heard. So, properly heard means until one starts following. That is proper hearing, following. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Tat Shanat, immediately at that moment, Krishna will be captured. The moment one takes full surrender, Kritabihi, because they have accumulated so much pious credit and they have full faith and are listening and following. At that moment, Krishna will be captured. Kumaras continue. What you are saying, Kumaras, is this Bhagavatam is very glorious. But what about the Tirtha and the holy rivers? So they are saying, Na Ganga, na Gaya, Kashi, not Ganga, not Gaya, not Kashi, Pushkaram, na Prayagakam, not Pushkara, not Prayag. Shukashastra Kathayascha. This Shukashastra Katha Phalena Samatam Nayet. You cannot do samata. Samata means equality. You cannot equate. Samatam means equate. You cannot equate phala, the result of going to any tirtha, with the katha of the, such powerful is the katha of Bhagavatam. In fact, forget the whole Bhagavatam. Shlokardham, even half a verse of Bhagavatam. Shloka padam va, even 1/4 verse of Bhagavatam. Nitya Bhagavatodbhavam Pathasva, must be read. Swamukhenaiva. Please focus here. Try to understand. This Bhagavatam has to be studied, read, swamukhenaiva, by one's own mouth. You know, sometimes devotees say, to me also they say, Prabhu, you do some sangha and we will attend. Okay, that is only one part. That will help. But that's not the point. Here it says, Pathaswa, one must study. Patha means to study. One must study and one must read. Patha also means to read. Read how? Not that somebody is reading and I'm listening. Sometimes they have this thing, oh, we friends will read together, family will read together, or husband, wife will read together, or children will read together. Okay, this is good. But injunction is very clear. Pathasva swamukhenaiva. Swamukha means what? With your mouth. Just like you eat with your own mouth. Your husband, your wife, your children don't eat for you. You eat with your own mouth. You read and speak Bhagavatam with your own mouth. Directly it is said. Not indirectly. Swamukhenaiva. If, yadi, if, itchasi, if you desire, param gatim, if you desire to reach a superior destination, param gatim, spiritual destination, then you must pathasva. This is imperative case in Sanskrit language. Imperative means you must. If I say pathasva, you must, it means. Can't be more clear than this. Swamukhenaiva. Yadi itchasi param gati. So Kumaras, they tell Narada, to recap, mere hearing brings liberation of Bhagavatam. House where it is read is a sacred place. Tad griham tirtha rupam hi. Thousands of Ashwamedh Yajna plus hundreds of Vajpaya is not equal to 1/16th reading of a Bhagavatam. No holy place can compare with it for purification. Kumaras continue. Yascha Bhagavatam Shastram Vachayedarthato Nisham. Whoever reads this Bhagavatam, now, previous verse said read. So somebody will just read like a parrot. No. Arthataha, read and understand the meaning. Artha means meaning. If one reads with meaning, understanding, day and night, every day, Anisham means daily. Janma koti kritam papam, sins committed over millions of, koti means millions of births. Nashyante, will be destroyed. Natra samshayaha, there is no doubt about it. So emphatic. Shlokardham shlokapadam va. You might think this is repetition. But repetition is for a purpose, to drill down in our head. Shlokardham, read just half a verse every day. Shlokapadam va, read 1/4 of a verse. Pathet, you read. Not that you are waiting for somebody else to come together so you can read. You read. Bhagavatam chaya, one who reads. Nityam punyam avapnoti, will attain continuous punya. Rajasuya shvamedayo, Rajasuya and Ashwamedha. Antakale tu yenaiva, at the time of death, if someone shruyate shukashastravak, hears even one verse of Bhagavatam or even a word of Bhagavatam at the time of death, Pritya tasyaiva vaikuntham govindopi prayachati, Bhagwan Narayan himself will invite that person to Vaikuntha if at the time of death one hears Bhagavatam. Hema simha yutam chaitad, if one makes a throne of gold, golden throne, Vaishnavaya dadati cha, and gives the Bhagavatam to a Vaishnava on a golden throne. To a Vaishnava, Patra is important. Krishnena sahasayujyam, just by making that donation. Just by donation. You are not doing reading or anything. You are just donating on a golden throne to a Vaishnava a copy of the Bhagavatam. You get Sayujya Mukti. Sa pumam labhate dhruvam. One will certainly, dhruvam, certainly attain that. Kumaras continue. Ajanma matram api yena shathena kinchit. If the entire life one spends in just wasting one's time by shatha. Shatha means they are just managing one thing to the other, just juggling their material life. All they are doing is just moving the material energy from one place to another. It is like moving the weight from the left shoulder to the right shoulder. It is still weight. It's still a burden. You're not getting rid of the weight. Ajanma matramapi yena shathena kinchit chittam vidhaya shukashastra kathana pita. One who has never drunk the katha shukashastra of Bhagavatam, chittam vidhaya, with attention, who has never heard with attention, chandalavacha kharavat, that person is like a chandala, like a dog eater. That person is like a donkey, kharavat. Batatena nitam, their life is like the life of a dog eater, like a life of a donkey. I'm not saying the words from Kumaras. Mithya swajanma, their whole life is simply a waste if they have not heard Bhagavatam with attention. Janani jani dukkha bhaja, and all they have done is, while the mother was pregnant with them in her womb, they have given the pregnancy pain to the mother and the delivery pain to the mother. That's all their contribution is in this world, to give pain to their mother. Kumaras continue. Jivat shavaha nigadita. You can call such people who have never attentively heard Bhagavatam. Jivat shavaha. Shavaha means corpse, a dead body. Jivat means a living. You can call them as living dead, living corpses. Satu papa karma. They are personification of sin. Yena shrutam shuka katha vachanam na kinchit. Those who have not heard any shuka katha, any Bhagavatam. Diktam, shame on them. Naram pashu samam, that person is like an animal. Bhuvi bhara rupam, he is simply a burden on earth. Bhuvi on earth, bhara rupam, a burden. Evam vadanti. Now Kumar is saying, I am not saying all these things. He is also referring to someone. He is saying, Evam vadanti. This is what is said by Divideva Saroja Mukhya. By the Divi means in the higher planets, in the sky. Deva Saroja Mukhya, the demigods with their lotus mouths, they are saying this. That this is the situation. Durlabhaiva katha loke. This Bhagavad Katha is so rare in this world. Srimad Bhagavatodbhava. This Katha from Bhagavatam is so rare. Koti Janma Samuthena. When millions of lifetimes of birth, pious activities. The same or similar verse was there in Skanda Puran. Koti Janma Samuthena, when millions of lifetimes of pious credits have all come together. Punyaiva tu labhyate. After punya of Koti Janma Samuthena, they have all come together. Then, only then, have some interest in Bhagavatam. Otherwise, no interest. And even if you have some interest, no progress. Only interest, no progress. Even if there is some progress, it is no motivation. Even if there is some motivation, it is only temporary. These are all indications that we haven't got enough Shakti. So what to do? Just do it. Just force yourself to do it. And in Satsanga, you will definitely develop that enough punya to relish. Just recently, one devotee came to my house in the evening and he told me, I've known him for 20 years. He has heard me speak Bhagavatam for 20 years. Just suddenly he came and told me, Prabhu, I want to tell you, I'm now developing taste for Bhagavatam. I cannot keep it down. I cannot stop reading and meditating and following the instructions. And I can see magic manifesting in my life, spiritual magic. This is after 20 years. So it depends. For some, it is purva samskara from previous lives. For some, you may have to work. Tena yoga nidedhiman shrotavya sa prayatnatah. Please. Shrotavya must be heard. Sa, that katha must be heard. Prayatnatah. Anyone from Indian background will know. Prayatna means what? Effort. So if it is not effortless for you to hear Bhagavatam, to read Bhagavatam, still do it. Do it with effort. Dīnānām niyamo nasti. How many days you will read? There is no niyama. There is no restriction. Sarvada shravanam matam. One should always hear Bhagavatam. There is no restriction. There is no limitation to the number of days. Since in Kali Yuga it is difficult to control the mind, generally it is suggested at least 1 week one should read. At least. Dharmendra Prabhu, we go until 1:30, right? Or did I get that wrong?
No, that's fine. It's whenever you feel.
Okay. I just want to finish this section.
Sure.
Yadnad Garjati Saptaha. By Bhagavat, by this Saptaha, at least 7 days of Bhagavatam that people do in Kali Yuga is greater than Yadna, is greater than any vrata vow you take, is greater than any tapasya you do, it's greater than going to any tirtha. Saptaho garjati vratat, tapaso garjati prochaihi, tirthan nityam hi garjati. Yoga, it's greater than yoga also. Dhyanat, it's greater than dhyana. Jnanat, it's greater than knowledge. Yogat garjati saptaho, dhyanat cha garjati. Kim brumo garjamanam tasya rere garjati. Kumara is saying, what more can we say? This Srimad Bhagavatam is greater than fill in the blanks. You know, if I say that I am richer than this many pounds, or I possess, if I say I have more than this many pounds, what is the meaning? You can fill whatever number you want. fill whatever you want. The statement will hold true. Now, of course, in this material world, it's impossible for that to be true. Because if I put some silly number, 1 trillion, 10 trillion, there's no man on earth who is a single human being who can say I'm a trillionaire or a multi-trillionaire, at least not yet. So Bhagavatam is exception there. Here he is saying, Kim brumo garjanam tasya. What should we compare it with? Re re garjati garjati. Fill the blanks yourself. It is greater than. Bhagavatam is greater than, fill in the blank. Whatever you say, it applies there. How has the hearing of the Katha of Bhagavatam superseded all other practices? This is the question Shaunak also is asking, because now you made a very bold statement. You said fill in the blanks. This is very bold. So how it has happened? So Suta is telling Shaunaka, when Krishna was ready to leave this world, and after receiving the instructions of the 11th canto, Uddhava asked Krishna. He asked Krishna, Tada Bharavati Bhumi. This earth is overburdened. Go Rupeyam Kamashrayet. It has taken the form of a cow. It has been overburdened. And whom can it take shelter of? Anyona Drishyate Trata. There is nobody I can see as the deliverer of this cow. Tatvataha. Tvattaha, other than you. Kamala Lochana. This cow can only take your shelter, Krishna. So, who is here who can give shelter to this earth in the form of cow? Uddhava says, Tvad viyogena te bhakta, your devotees, because of your viyoga in separation from you, katham sthasyanti bhutale, how will they survive on earth? The earth will be completely bereft of all your devotees. Because you are not there, they will not be here. Nirgunopasane kashtam. Now, if your answer is going to be that they will simply meditate on this impersonal form of you, it is kashtam. It's too much painful to meditate on this nirguna form of yours, this Brahman form of yours. Ataha kinchid vicharaya. Please think something. What will you do? Think for your devotees. Think for Mother Earth. Uddhava is telling Krishna. Krishna replies, Swakiyam yad bhavet tejaha. Whatever is my potency, Tatcha Bhagavate Dadhat, that I instill in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tirodhaya Pravishtoyam, when I disappear from this earth, Tirodhaya, we celebrate Tirodha Mahotsav, disappearance days. So Tirodhaya, when I disappear from this earth, Pravishtoyam, I will enter this Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatarnavam, this ocean of Bhagavatam, I will enter. It's an ocean, Bhagavatam. Teneyam Vangmahi Murti, this Bhagavatam is me, is Krishna. Vangmahi, in form of words. So imagine that Krishna as a personality transformed his very self into words. And that words, Murti, the word form, literally it says, Vangmayi Murti means word form of Krishna. Pratyaksha, Pratyaksha means literally, directly. Vartate Hare, it is of Hari. Is directly. Pratyaksha means you see someone, Pratyaksha means direct perception. This is directly, not like Bhagavatam. You're not saying Bhagavatam is like Krishna. No. It says, I am, this is vartate, is Pratyaksha. Vangmayi Murti Hare Vartate. Therefore, in this Kali Yuga, you don't have Krishna. You don't see Krishna directly. No, you do in the form of Bhagavatam. Sevanat, serve Bhagavatam. Shravanat, hear Bhagavatam. Pathat, study Bhagavatam. If you cannot do any of that, Darshanat, Papanashini. When we were small kids, our grandfather, very small, and the kids of the neighborhood, they would all come, and my grandfather would have some tamarind and some jaggery with some, like a little mixture, like little ball. And he would give one ball to whoever came, paid obeisances to Bhagavatam, opened the Bhagavatam and closed the Bhagavatam. That's all we had to do. Because he had belief that even if someone is developing the relation with Bhagavatam by simply having darshan of Bhagavatam, his spiritual life has started. So we small children would go, open the book, close the book, and we would stand there with our hand forward. 3-year-old, 2-year-old, 5-year-old, and he would give the sweet. And just for the sweet, we would be enticed by the sweet, and we would go every day and open the book, close the book. So, darshana, at least have darshan of Bhagavatam. So powerful. Non-different from Krishna. Not like Krishna. Is Krishna. Vartate Hare. Pratyaksha. After hearing the glories of Bhagavatam, a great wonder happened. What happened? We'll finish with this. Bhakti sutau tau tarunau grihitva. Bhakti, along with both the sons, who were very young again. Premaika rupa sahasai sahasa virasi. They were in one form because they were all bhakti, jnana, vairagya are actually one form of love. Sahasa, immediately, avirasi, they arrived there. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Natheti Namani Muhur Vadanti. They started coming. Bhakti Devi came with 2 young men. Jnana and Vairagya had become young. And they came dancing, chanting Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare. This is from Govind Damodar Stotra of Bilvamangal Thakur, who was also known as Leela Shuka. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nathanara Yanavasudeva Jivhe Pibaswamritameta Deva Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. These are names of Krishna. Jivhe, on the tongue. Pibaswa, please drink. Amrutameta Deva, please drink this nectar. Nectar of these names on your tongue. Even Prabhupada quotes in a purport in the first canto, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Natha Narayana Vasudeva. So people amongst themselves, they started wondering, Tam Chagatam Bhagavatartha Bhusham. Who is this lady who has appeared? And what was the dress of Bhakti Devi? Bhagavata Artha Bhusham. Please understand this. The meaning of Bhagavatam was the dress of Bhakti Devi. Sucharu Vesham, such a beautiful dress she was wearing. Tadarshu Sadyah, Sadasyah, the assembly, they saw her in this beautiful dress, which is the meaning of the verses of the Bhagavatam. Katham Pravishta, how did she enter here? Katham Agateyam, from where did she come? Madhyam Muninam, all the Munis were wondering. Iti Tarkayanta, they started wondering. The Kumaras replied, Uchu Kumara Vachanam Tadanim. The Kumaras replied, Katharthato Nishpatita Dhuneyam. She has appeared because of the Katha. The glories of Bhagavatam have been sung. Already Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya has appeared in everyone's heart. Evam Gira Sasa Sutani Shamya. Just by these words of glories of Bhagavatam, along with Sasuta, along with her sons, she has come here to take shelter of Bhagavatam. Sanat Kumaram Nijagada Namra. Humbly Sanat Kumar spoke these words. Bhakti told the Kumaras, Bhavadbhir adyaiva kritasmi pushta. You have now made me nourished again. Kali pranashtapi katharasena. In Kali Yuga, pranashtapi katharasena. This katharas will diminish in Kali Yuga also. Kvaham tutishtami. Where should I reside? Adhuna bruvantu. Please tell me, where should I reside? Brahma idam tam giramu chirete. O Brahmanas, please tell me, where should I reside in Kali Yuga? Kumaras are saying, Bhakteshu Govinda Sarupa Kartri. You produce Govinda in the heart of your devotees. Premaika Dhartri, Bhavaroga Hantri. You hold prema and you reduce the Bhavaroga, the roga of this samsara. Satvam Chatishthasva. You should reside Sudhiraiva Samshraya, firmly, Nirantaram, always, Vaishnava Manasani. You should always reside in the heart of the Vaishnavas. In this way, Bhakti Devi appeared and she resided in the heart of the Vaishnavas. It's 1:32. Generally, the idea was we start at 9:30 and finish at 1:30, but we took a longer break, 10 minutes instead of 5. So please forgive me. Apologies for that. I don't think we have time for questions, but we'll take one. Jai, why?
Jai Mataji.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhuji, very quick question. I think verse 33.33, where you say that you have to read, but I mostly read it in my own mind. I don't speak it loudly. What would you say to that, please?
Read loudly.
Read loudly.
When
Okay.
I say loudly, it's not loud like the whole.
No,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But you're reading. You're reading. Your ears have to hear. You have to hear.
Okay. Thank you very much.
This
Thank
is the
you.
method. I am only going to give answer based on what the Shastra is saying. So
Yes.
I'm not giving answer based on my own imagination. What Shastra is saying is this.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let us pay our obeisances to the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
the Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Ki jai.
Jai.
Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so
very
much.
much.
Thank you.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.